Welcome back, guys.
Rora Gaming versus Team Liquid Philippines.
What a spine-tingling entrance we have for our teams. First up, it's Rora.
Aurora, who only ever lost once this entire season 16, and they're planning to make that record even more than 16, if I'm not mistaken. They're on the road to making it a 16-1 if ever they do get to secure the grand finals.
And they're fighting off against Team Liquid Philippines, who, like mentioned in that VTR, looking really angry and showing it to TNC yesterday. I wonder if that's going to be pretty much the same TLPH that we're going to see today. They are still on the road, the golden road, and doing it in style in the Golden Stampede.
It's the first step. It's the first step to actually starting that Golden Stampede. And even if you look at their team head-to-head, even overall statistics across all the teams, it's always these two who seem that they have very close statistics to each other. Probably, as pointed out in the Howl, we have to pay attention the most to Team Liquid Philippines and their early game capacity, because you could see it in their first blood percentage. But Aurora is a team that I think have really on point in terms of execution, that you can't just feel as confident in securing those early turtles when you're up against them.
There are teams that are based on macro, there are teams that are based on micro, and those are things that you can say pretty much for both of these players, both of these teams. Each and every single one of them so proficient. Again, one play style against another. We're seeing so much more first bloods happening for Team Liquid Philippines ever since the playoffs did start, and we might see that today as well. That early turtle, I think they have like a 90% contention rate, 96% contention rate for Team Liquid, and Rora really winning out in terms of the bigger mid-game to late-game team fighting. I think we could see that. Again, side selection here is going to be crucial as well. Rora coming out with the first pick on blue side.
Yeah, both of these teams actually would prefer the blue side, so this is definitely going to be advantageous for Rora, especially as we've observed in previous drafts, in previous games that they played, that they wouldn't even hesitate to prioritize a comfort pick if need be, especially if they or the opposing team, which are now Team Liquid, put so much emphasis on a particular player, on a particular role, in hopes of choking out the they would not even hesitate to go all the way for
Discord
we have seen YouTube yesterday as well, so I completely agree. And we are going to head into the draft, the ever so crucial draft for the first game of the grand finals. This is going to be so good to watch for sure. If you're like a guy who likes nerding out on stats, it will set the tempo on who is going to have the head start.
Especially now that we've entered the playoffs, we saw a lot more unique heroes pick. And these, some picks even, just appeared for the first day and have always been prio banned ever since, such as the Yuzhong. And I think that was also highlighted in the Howl. But this is the legit countdown right
This is it. It is counting down to it.
Guys.
And here we go, getting into the drafting phase of one of the most crucial games of the season, the first game of a best of 7.
I wonder what we're gonna see for our first game. It's Expanding River. All the more do you have to pay attention to the Dawn double, but I think we also have to look at the because I think Aurora are slowly starting to things up a bit too. It's never gonna be the Harith option for Doming unless, right? Because I don't see it banned just yet.
Unless it's like the very
Mới
last
mới
game
con
of
hôn bây giờ đẹp
one
lắm
or
bộ.
blue free. Not sure quite yet. YSS is gonna be out of the table here for Carl Cheesy. Been very happy to pick that up.
Cái bên tàu kìa.
Actually opened the Harith, which was always the
Chujin Dragon adagi Lenslot Arlot Neko bên tàu
It feels like a trap though. I think that's the reason why they're gonna be so
Rora
happy to do that.
Yeah.
At least
Hyperan
the
lokalak tura.
Lancelot is pretty solid
Traga
for both Demon Kite
okay,
and Carl.
MMA lokalak tura, Mesa
What are
lokalak
they
tura
thinking
yun.
here?
Yeah, because I don't think we even got to see the Harith first pick anymore in the previous
No, absolutely
days.
not.
But this is Aurora, which is why I'm really trying to look at what the option is gonna be. But instead of that,
There you go.
they go for the Fredrin.
Federin back deh, Federin hyperan itu ga OFK kan udah udah. JP
Right,
itu
it's crazy.
OFK.
Now it's the Harith who is going over the TLPH, who seems to be very happy to take that very quickly, right? It didn't even take a few seconds. They locked it in right away.
Yeah.
But we're talking about that Fredrin, Brigida. We talked about how crucial that Fredrin is, especially for players like Carl Teasy.
Yeah, the CC is also still open. If Aurora wants
I
to
personally
consider
like
that,
it. It's
it's gonna work well. Especially against the Gatot Kacha, I cannot recall the amount of times I've seen a curtain call just stop an AOG from landing where it wants to land. So that could be a potential pickup for Aurora.
But to me, what I do,
Look at the first phase. Oh, but they go loud.
already know it's about me. What the
No CC here today, Brigid. For some reason, it's open up until the very end.
Nah,
I feel like
matuto,
Sanford will be happy to take that.
Would he actually pick the CC here, though?
I don't know. It feels like a trap. Again, it's starting the mind games are starting to be very apparent here.
At least there will not be any threat of, let's say, an X board coming in because
Glue lady,
what the
Magdi.
lane of Aurora
Glue.
is, and
Hobias,
even the EXP
hobias.
laner is already revealed to us here in the
Oh,
draft.
siapa ya?
So they're just gonna go very tanky, and this is gonna be.
Bro, they're gonna ban your EXP.
100. I feel like it's 100%.
Because yesterday there was a Gatot in the EXP, but I doubt that's gonna be the case for this matchup if you're up against the Lapu Lapu.
It might be a bit too slow if you go on XP Gatot, so that's my theory here. You want to be able to give that to JP, have some sense of control. JP has also been using the Gatot Kacha to block a lot of the bullets from Grangers. We've seen that yesterday, and I think we will see that here today as well.
Even when they were up against the likes of
Why are we
Anavaria,
doing?
he's just gonna be very. Speaking of, they take out the Anavaria immediately. But he's been very efficient, even prioritizing Twilight Armor just to make sure that he gets to tank everything for his team. And JP is really very comfortable with the Gatot Kacha, which I like. And that we're seeing right now in Liquid's lineup. But they might go heavy on the mid lane bans. You could see the Navaria already being taken out. I'm wondering if the Eve could be the next consideration if you're Liquid, because the Fredrin Eve 2 looks like a terrifying combo if you look at it.
I love the Eve, the thought of the Eve making an appearance here, but at the same time, we're noticing something that's not panned out here. Where's the Kimmy? Where is the Kimmy here? Where's it gonna slot in? So usually that has been on the first docket here for a lot of our games.
Yeah, that's true. So the Kimmy, the Eve could be options here for Aurora, but for their last bans here, they still took out the CC. They might be limiting the Alice is still there?
That's true. The Alice is still there, somewhere lurking.
Yes, nigga.
Gleam. I think he's gonna gleam in right in our faces anytime soon. But yeah, I feel like you also. I guess you don't want to think about the Kimmy too much because maybe it'll have a hard time against the Baksha because of the passive, right?
Yeah.
Not to mention if they build up a blade armor.
Yes.
So yeah, so we're looking for XP laners as well. What? Benedetta, that's dig indeed.
Kaya ba?
I did not expect that.
Benedetta Vitor ba? May di pong sila eh.
Never mind, Rocco. They take it
Yung Tore
You
pa.
would pick it up, but no, it is
May
going to
mid lane ni
TLPA.
Kimi mga kalay ba? Kimi lady
That's
dagi.
very solid magic damage.
Amazing. These are picks I would have thought
Harsalay ba?
Aurora
Harsalay
would
Louis.
prioritize or get their hands on more than Liquid would, but they're all in Liquid's side now.
Yeah, Brigida, that's all magic damage though. They need a strong fighter XP lane.
So maybe that's why we won't consider the Alice, or Aurora are not considering the Alice anymore too.
I think so.
They're looking for a bit more damage to come in the EXP lane, but the Arlot's not there, the Yuzhong's not there.
Ay team kano talay ba? Liquid talay. Liquid ka dumali. Ado kang di horen ora na sila di ko.
With a Farsa Franco combination.
Ali at least laban sila. Kano kali ay pick kinata ba kano di. Kusana do ay kano sa pamsay.
I think that's the first Franco of the playoffs so
Ado
far.
mo yung pick siya nga di kano na di
And now on that last pick, we talked about some good physical
Orana
damage.
Orana damage hele sustainability ke no hele
It is
to
physical damage.
magic moi
But it's
physical
not
damage apa jauh
It's not
DLPH ki
the same as the Yuzhongs, as the Arlots, or
Oi, yung ora.
but it adds up to the crowd control,
Yes.
to
Oren,
the
sana nakano
layer
ba?
of surprise that we can see from them. I mean, the
Kuya ka ba rin, tare?
World AOG,
Yeah, the amount of catch. That's a lot of catch
that's
right
a lot
here.
already.
So we'll see. We are loading up into the map, ladies and gentlemen, for the first game of this best of 7. It is going to be one for the books. Let's throw it over to our esteemed TriCast, the We Bear Bros.
Rock hard, Brigida, thank you so much. An amazing pre-show, an amazing opening, and it's electrifying here in the FPL Filipino Arena. It's Season 16's Grand Finals. It is us, the We Bear Bros, Nice, Leo, and Redmar, to take you guys through, hopefully, 7 games.
Let's go.
7-game grand finals, and we're in for a surprise. Light gets his Franco back. Liquid did everything they could to deny UA Heroes in the second phase of the banning by taking away Sicilian and Ovaria, but he still ends up with a really great pick in the Farsa. Franco and Farsa together in the center of the map, but we're starting to see here again, with more Eves, we're getting reminded why Eves is such a nuisance now in this current metagame. Once she starts getting cooldown items on her, bro, she's gonna deal damage really quickly. In terms of the emblems, nothing too crazy, still pretty much run-of-the-mill.
The reputation on Light's Franco rings true.
Moi
Even in
pen goje
season
hai
16,
chimin ko ai kana
undefeated
no wala to
going
sibo
into
mane
this
no
game. So you
no
know
mo
that
no
these
ho ngani
people
han nei
draft
keno to khatai ne ama
progressed
kai
to
ko
a
ge no
pre-project
mi do
next status.
Yeah.
am to khri
Everything
no
that
wala
we've
si
learned through the playoffs rings true.
It's really interesting to have this specific
New
draft
Roma
for
for
game 1.
Rora.
I think the draft alone, no matter how many games we get, we're going to go through its own evolution. You know, we've seen very different shades of the meta already because of the way that Project Nest came smack dab in the middle of the season, that I think from draft up game to game, we'll see that shades of the different meta. Because, I mean, when was the last time, you saw the Eve and even the Tarizla pop up for any of the games through the playoffs?
Yeah, typical rapid boots rush there for the Franco. You mentioned the Tarizla. Team Liquid Philippines just decided to build a wall of beefy bodies because they know that Rora loves to play a very tight formation, especially around UA, having an artillery mage and then Dominkite having a Granger as well. So Liquid is going to look to Stampede. If not in terms of the rotations, then in terms of just winning the team fights through sheer brute force. You'll have to watch Sanford and Edwards' timings here and which team can help which EXP laner better.
Turtle now at half health. Carl TD rolling Demon Kite out of that pit. RWM the answer. Sunji catches a good amount of salvo.
Kero lo re yip
First
ash
blood on Demon Kite.
ke farda kinam lo re ani ro mana do ni da
Not gonna save them from UA, and UA's way behind enemy lines. How's he gonna survive? Like it's the flicker back, serving it up to Demon Kite.
ya ke pesi ho ra
And in comes Kiel, serving up a kill for the
chi
Cavalry.
ye chi chi de ra shi de ra ma na to pe ge ho me
He has wings by
chi
wings.
chi be shi de
UA very low. No one gets him. He survives.
A big overcommittal there by TLPH. Rora will get
lo
this
re
turtle.
ro ra
Okay.
ke no ka ti sigre tu na pire vale trema The young god has fallen down.
That objective goes in the hands of Demon Kite, and so they get that. Again, they're holding on to this very minor lead for TLPH. You saw the stats there, by the way, the win rate between a classic gold lane matchup that we see in terms of the heroes, the Granger versus the Harris. Interestingly enough, that TLPH got that Harris too, because we all know, we've been talking about all season,
Definitely goal is to hum nahi ba goal to hum ya
Definitely the best record, best performance, rarely loses lane. Now he has his hands on a Granger who decided to rush a Hunter Strike. Nothing too greedy, not going for the Sky Piercer rush. Of course he's going to be second building that. With a different flavor.
Coming in, Daddy JP, Salmon Force, Bioheb.
Kako pe kaya
The middle of it all.
Yeah,
The answer, keep it. The homecoming hero down, Light bites it.
Great use of the real world manipulation. No more Salmon Force here. Here comes the clap back by Rora.
An airstrike coming through. Several salvos caught in by the patriarch of the cavalry. No dice.
They did get the revitalization out from JP. Part of this.
Ano siya nang
hold on. XP laner's
Ying,
gonna be
ano ba?
now. Sanford should be able to get away.
Edward
Hello?
really stretched the limits.
Kaya ako sa kanya
At level 6.
Why you I Discord
You
high
see
the
there, one of the
equal
secret matchups that you can pair up against a Lapu Lapu if you have a good team building around it. Pick up the Turisla. Yes, initially, once you bring out the Raging Slashes through the Bravest Fighter, once that's gone, the damage of the Turisla actually just sort of evens out the battle. So it's a bit of a dead lane. We're waiting to see which team's going to be rotating towards the EXP lane more. But I think they're going to be okay with just leaving it as it is because both of them can manage well. They're just looking to outplay in terms of the objectives. Hopefully Team Liquid Philippines doesn't do the same thing that they did in the previous fight, which was take the fight right
đó là Trinh cái phát ra đấy.
What a hook!
JP đi
standing his ground, he knows that there's very little follow through.
Đi cả cái
In position, we're gonna watch out where Sam
Vậy cái nào cả tụi mày nào?
decides to set up this RWM, but they're just gonna blitz the
Rora sao vậy?
Philippines. An AOG called back. They will have to wait at all.
Không biết tụi người tụi nào. Đi ra nó rồi. Phát ra đi nè.
Edward and Demon Kite jump.
Cái đi hay về đi người nữa.
Big beefy boys slapping me.
Dân của nhau.
That's it. That's what we're talking about. Just brute force, throw bodies, burst damage, play around the RWM, and it looks like Rora aren't completely ready for this type of liquid lineup. They're used to having Sanford a little bit more, like a lot of technicalities with this EXP laners. This time, it's simple. Flicker and use the penalty zone.
It's a tale as old as time. Fundamental MOBA tactics. Dive comp versus poke comp. The poke isn't ready yet, so Liquid take advantage.
Yeah, actually you said the best. The poke isn't ready yet, but when things even
Earlier
out, that's
than
when
you
Liquid need
want-
to slow
wait,
things down
even
just a
when the
little
damage
bit, because if they're
didn't
not
do it,
careful, Aurora have a
Later than you
fantastic
walk along,
counter-punish
I
lineup
want.
once they have their items locked in for the Forza and the Granger. Hell, we're already starting to see teases of it. The fights of Liquid are getting expensive. They have to commit a lot to get a big win.
It's interesting how it's happening too because
Thế
it's a
lại
different
gì
kind
phá
of
cô yêu gì
pressure
vậy?
from TLPH.
Sai chinh đi mua, hai mà đâu lâu giờ đâm này, phá cô nó chinh cái này cái nó cả đi gì thuộc cái
So
Hey,
Rora,
đâm
I'm
ra
trying to adjust to this, trying to go ahead and not
Hit put the pork in the other. My
that Rora has to deal with.
With the
So
deal,
I'm
carry
almost thinking
out.
best thing they can do is if they're able to get a
Năm
pick
rê,
off the
năm
lights,
rê,
take out at
nó
least
ngã,
one
mấy
member
lên,
from
tâm lên.
TLPH. That should give them some of the advantage. I think the hard part too is for UA and Dominic to actually utilize the space they have. Oh no.
All right, that's 2-on-1. Sanford eating quite a bit from this duel from Aurora. Edward and Ewan lay down a smackdown on 40, sending him home.
Ai xin với Roma đâu không mà sẽ không đẹp.
Position again for the
Aurora
Cerner.
thì hai này
Looks
tôi
like
nên
a
này
bit
nè.
advantage for them, but Aurora, they are healthy enough
Mình
to
tôi cần
fight
là
into this.
tôi
Waiting for the feathered
Ủa,
airstrike of the
cái
Forces
khả
to
năng
come back.
nào tốt
Dominic
hơn
now has a Sky Piercer, so Liquid has to be careful because a big turn by Rora will hurt.
Okay, they're gonna start up half health on this last turtle of the game. Even and Carl facing off. There they go.
Có gì á? Đi phi sát rồi ạ. Đi phi mà đánh lèo đấy. Đi tìm cái gì đi. Thì đây cái bài này thì
JP with the zone, perfectly timed so that
Hey,
the guy
JP
couldn't even get in range.
I
He
consider
didn't get
I'll
the
take it, hello.
retribution there. Carl
Wow.
Daisy, very easy for him despite the
Again, shadow
entry for Rora will hurt.
Up half health on this last turtle of the game. Even
JP
Carl
kìa.
facing off. There they go.
Có đi cái shadow kìa, anh khẩn liệu, mà có là tiền.
Get to use the retribution there. Carl Daisy, very easy for him despite the entry for Edward. Again, this is why we wanted to point out the importance of the timing of the entry between the two EXP laners. But there's also a Gatas Cacho for the side of Liquid.
Liquid walked away with so much. They took the turtle, went the threat mid. Carl Daisy drives by Grand Theft Orange.
ประชาจะดีว่าพวกเกย์อะไรกันวะมิน
This
บ้าน
is looking like a stampede.
All of it's
Cheetah does
distributed
it loud,
evenly
doesn't it?
across the lanes too. Except for that gold lane, man. The gold lane difference right now, I think, is really playing into the stats that we mentioned earlier with the Harris versus Granger combo. And I would say, even when you see those fights break out, it's amazing because we don't see the Charizla that much.
Yeah.
You kind of forget how much damage he can take, especially with the passive that he has, that Body of Smith. He's able to go ahead and just take a ton of this damage, set things up for TLPH, and then that gives the free reign for Oheb and the likes to go ahead and solidify that team fight, especially around the RWM. Look at this, they're going to put them off the turret.
Even Kite got
Don't make that right. What? How do you do it?
Oheb only takes him down. It's a two-man trade, 1-for-1. JP for DK. Light freeze, and he still gets caught by Sanji. 2 for 1, Liquid wins it.
Oh my goodness.
เป็นที่เกมมันเตะวิทูนั่นด้วยพี่หน่อยแกรู้ตัวเลยกระตุกกระจายน่ะเยอะกันเลยเป็นมาริติทัดกันตัวกระตุกกระจายน่ะมองว่าแต่ว่าไม่ไปชิปตัวอันนั้นเนี่ยมาทัดกันตัวเดียวทัดกันได้แต่สังเกตแล้วตัวฉันงูไปแต่ตัวมาไม่เก่งนะตีเองนั่นก็มาโจนตัววิธีเข้าหัวเราอะเกมที่พักก็ไปใช่ไหมมันมั่งท่าจังก็ได้เลยนะ
The sheer amount of health and resources that Liquid has. If this game was a little bit closer, Rora would have gotten an even bigger punish.
หลักผู้จัดการงานจังเลยมาดีพันตัวตัวจังแบบทีกันเลยประเดี๋ยวว่าเพดานที่ตุ้งกระตุกกระจายอะตัวไม่เป็นชิโต้ฉลาดที่ตุ้งน้ำมันกันนี่ด้วยตุ้งไงตัวนี้ใช้ตัวโลบีเลยตุ้งไงตัว
And this time, what they're doing much better now compared to their previous series up against Rora earlier this playoffs was that they're marking the other points of entry. There's always at least 1 or 2 members of Team Liquid Philippines off to the side while the 3-man main fight is happening with the other members of Aurora.
And that's the problem here. Light, you know, he's trying to land these hooks.
น่าเราเก่งสิโรดอาร์มกันโรดาแล้วก็บุดีชิวคัมเบกลากไปจากช่วยไม่น่าไม่รู้สิทันทีนี้ไม่กันหรอกการกูจะเตี้ยไปจากกูจะแล้วพูดดีไกลเลยแล้วตากกูจะหลับไปกันหน่อยอ้าวพัดอะไรอย่าเล่ากันอย่าทริซานในรินมาไล่บักตียันเท่าเลยอย่าคราวว่าในสิ่งที่กำลังหลักไป
Yeah, they have fantastic item builds here. Already full build the anti-cuirass for the Terizla. While JP, I love that he went for Dreadnought armor, didn't full build that, and then went straight for the Athena shield. That's why he can just stand in front of Rora right now and act as the secondary Terizla. While Sanford's also the interplay of Liquid is what's giving Aurora so much difficulty because they're both too tanky.
Earlier, you know.
ป้านี่ชนะมามั่งทำตัวมาที่พังกูนี่ไปเลยตั้งไว้ว่าเนี่ยมั่งทำจะงานวันที่ไปอย่าเลยเนี่ยไปเลยที่มาจ้า
They're going to have to set things up here, deal with this Lord that's pushing up on the top side. They'll most likely lose that tier 2 turret. But now for Rora, what can they do here on the defense? What are they capable of turning around to get this game in their favor as they face down that 6K deficit?
Well, if they have the reach, this is the perfect defense call that Rora has. If Liquid decide to throw bodies and mess up, it's dangerous. They force the flicker out of Dominkite, so let's see if Liquid will force any issue. But the thing is, there's no minion waves at mid, but they might try to play through the Lord. The minion wave at bot not going to be enough, but they can't risk it at this point. Again, they have the Farsa, the Granger, which is already up to a Malefic Roar, so they have to be careful.
No dump bottom. Dominkite was fighting for his life. They will save this tier 2 in mid, but at 12 minutes, Holy Shields just retract anyways. Rora does well to defend against that first Lord.
It's a bit tough too because when you get to this game, you're really thinking Rora, how do they turn it around? Might be it's that next Lord, but they have to figure out the puzzle here, man. The puzzle is TLPH's objective fighting. That box, literally the box they're able to set up with the RWM is, I feel like, problem number 2. Problem number 1 is getting past JP and Sam.
ไม่ใช่ยังไม่ได้กูสู้อะไรเลยอีตั้งใครเอาจ้ะอารมณ์สังหารเดียวนู่นที่ช่างเต้นนะพี่เล่นเกมนี่ไปก็ใช้อาลีดูจังอาลีดูตัวดูดูน้องกูชิเล่นเกมวันที่ชิเล่นเกมมาดูการวันก็ใช้ดูตัว
He's going to continue to die like he has.
Yeah, already up to the Magic Lantern after the glowing wand for that Eve. You see the Lapu Lapu and Fredrin both have good Radiant armors. Waiting. I wouldn't be surprised if that'll also be a Radiant armor for Light later on, because right now the magic damage brought out by the 3 heroes on the side of Liquid, the Eve, the Gatot, and the Harith, it's what's stopping Rora from being able to fight comfortably. They played around the pick-off style in the gacha who can just stand front, hold, use their Revitalize. That reapplies the pressure now to Dominkite, which again needs time, but then he couldn't get that time because he also had to act as a secondary frontliner for the team. So it was a risk that Light ended up with the Franco. Let's see if Rora can somehow miraculously turn it around. See Halberd for Doming.
Here we go. They go ahead and pull out the Lord. Carl's going to show himself up here. I'm not sure Rora is going to be able to do anything.
The flicker in by Light. The bite down was the winner's fortune.
Damage muy damage yam Yaldri. Farsa damage Yaldri.
Goes as well. It's a little too much. That 7K gold lead. JP closing up the exit on Edward. Wow. Triple kill for Edward.
Granger di damage dum chao
Liquid let go of the Lord.
Yeah, Pasha didn't have the
That is
This is
a
much
economy
harder.
dip
One
at its finest showing. They just have too many items, too much damage. Rora will have to play through the defense in base, and this will be Liquid trying not to mess up winning this game. Forced out the flicker from Sanji though.
Yeah, you got to flicker out, but
I think that's worth it.
Yeah.
it's worth in a way, but man, Sanji hasn't really had. Sanji has had a great game of just, I'm going to chill in the back, set up my RWM, and the rest of everybody else will go ahead and shine off of that. Again, they have a
Billy 좀 판차. 나 답이 잘 신다.
He's up to a Divine Glaive already for this game, and I'm wondering,
Yeah,
why didn't you build the Divine Glaive rush? They
the book by the
already
team with
felt
team
this
with
deficit very quickly. He
Car,
still went for the
he
Bloodwings. Yes, he's an important part of the lineup, but at this point, you're going to have to accept that you need that magic penetration right away to sort of smooth things out a little bit more for your team.
Oheb's a big problem for Rora. They've had no answer to it, and he's just been able to go Zaman Force all over the place. They're going to go ahead and push it into the space. They drop the RWM.
AOG was the tail end of the
Audrey.
RWM.
Audrey.
He's just been able to go Zaman Force all over the place. They're going to go ahead and push it into the space. Lord's going to march up. They drop the RWM.
한국이 까나만 강그래요. 판사 데미지 자오리. Cái nồi đi. Cái cái mà cái 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 nhà đấy. Ingrid.
I feel like TLPH kind of messed that up.
Ai, ui damage lạc vô đấy 판사 cái nó.
Even with a lead, I think they're surprised even with
판사 cái dây ôm được điểm lùi ông và kia thì so nữa.
Again, one of the tendencies of Team Liquid Philippines, if they have a big lead, they're willing to take very risky fights, even when there's a one last base turret that they have to go through the lane that they're trying to answer. Sanford committed the flicker penalty zone. Would have been great if the turret was gone. But Rora also has really good wave clear at this point. Yes, there's a deficit, but they're beyond 40k plus. That means they can clear waves very quick. Team Liquid need to respect that unless Rora turn things around again very late into the game. Something we already saw from them earlier this playoffs.
Carl's easy, rolling out, catches one.
그럼 그저 비가 뒤에.
And of course, you salvo from Doming and you and JP fights it. DK.
Mỗi tiếng chỉ là cho anh nhau đi. Nó mang thằng mình ngay. Không alo thì sẽ lắc nhiều nữa.
They scouted Aurora.
Mỗi đi phang cua cái nó xì rồi là cua cái súng khang rồi. Thế là
The 1-for-1. Lord's gonna come up here in a couple seconds, so they'll make their way.
Yeah, but that's not worth it because now it's about to spawn, and by the time the Lord goes down, Demon Kite wouldn't have even spawned yet because Liquid can blitz this comfortably.
khang 나봐 지로라.
Secure this.
루이 잘 로야 하네. 빡 khang
I
와.
don't think they're gonna be able to do much off of it. Flies gonna face them down. Edward, he'll just say hi to TLPH. They'll get back to base. Demon Kite will be up in the defense. And we'll see TLPH approach the base, trying to get the last two base turrets down, potentially ending the game.
Rora stopped the bleeding.
Yeah.
So this is comeback territory. We've seen him do it from 13,500 from the same damn team in the upper bracket finals.
Yeah, Liquid has this weird tendency in Season 16. I think only around a 30 or 40% win rate, somewhere around that realm when the game goes past 18 minutes. My challenge for Liquid is for them to end it here, lest Rora turn things around again and start off this best of 7 with a massive turnaround win.
See if they can do it here. Lord approaching up top. TLPH knocking at the base doors here, bottom and mid. Domikite sold his boots. He's got a winner's crown. He knows he's an integral part of this defense. Lord's
Cái nó to.
TLPH.
Bro.
Rora disperses.
Chỉnh ra đi thằng con á.
Underneath turret range.
Chỉnh đi nè.
Takes care of it. Liquid move on to the mid lane.
Bài chân liên mày ai để bè ra nữa. Chỉnh như rồi nè nè. Chia. Giúp rồi đấy. Rồi đấy. Gần ra đến này nè.
Edward falls after
They
he
missed
uses
it.
that flicker. Rora still
엄마
in
나한
it.
아무도 또 그냥 그거 여기서
We said that they have great clear, they have great high ground
여기 건
defense. They only lost Edward, but they stay in the game.
Yeah, they're managing the minion waves very well.
À,
Every
tôi
time
đi cái nó
Liquid
cái này.
want to get close to
Tôi cái nó
ending
có
things, all of
ra
them
vậy thôi.
just for
Ai chiến
one
cái nó có phun ra vậy thôi.
turret. So now they have to
Là
watch
phụ
out
cấp
for the
bigger.
fact that Domikite went for the Winter Crown.
Thế,
He can buy
thế
and
là
sell
phụ
the
cấp bên thì
Mortalities
bút
later on. Now there's a Divine Glaive and Magic Lantern for you, which is
Cái
why
này
minion
still
waves
lên
are
ngoại
getting
đã.
cleared very fast alongside the fact that they have items already on this Granger. danger. The Queen's Wings on that Lapu Lapu, they got that earlier. But the big item pickup, and which is why Liquid now have to be super careful, is that Demon Kite doesn't care if he's the first target. He already has the Guardian helmet. He buys so much time every time.
And looking at the KDAs on Edward and Demon Guy, and hell, you get lump up Mike in there too.
162, eh? 162, 162.
Haven't gotten kills, so Liquid in turn are getting less economy on the clapback, and we're approaching a point where economy rarely
Ôi một phát xa cận cái giờ thì hạ lâu rồi thì mới cha được gì nhỉ mà càng tí mà đinh thì sẽ cắt xuân đi.
It's going to come down to is the objective fight here, and again, we're looking to see if Rora can actually have the fight that they want. They've been leaning towards light to go ahead and get the hook, you know, to make a play there.
Yeah.
But they might just have to full on decide that we got to go ahead and contest against.
하고 정글도 야, 근데 막 백라인 땀 뭐, 팔라인 고쳐 핫밤 뭐 너들 백라인 나 기도. 많이 또 와. 많이 빨리 이러니. 빨리 상대 막 move 카톡 써.
Sanford has to be ready to look for Yue, because the reason why Sanji got taken out in the last stage was that he dropped down the RWM, initiated, but Yue was free to be able to help reach Sanji, and those extra feathered airstrikes, and eventually the cleanup.
Lord 지금 머리를 슈머니야.
So the Terizla and the Eve have to come together, work together, and sync their ultimate.
ชี้ไพ่ยังไงนี่ไปไพ่ยังไงนี่โดนไม่ได้ชูแล้วก็เล่นกันขนาดนี้
Clap back from Rora.
ยิงยังไงนี่
Here we go. Lord's up. It's a ball. Post the 20-minute mark here. TLPH still maintaining the lead that they have. They'll grab the buffs, give it over to Oheb as he grabs the purple and then the orange.
Oh man.
Look at the positioning here too for TLPH. They know they don't have to rush this. They can play with some of the advantage that they have.
Yeah, sad sword for Dominic Guide, and that's bad news for Team Liquid Philippines. That BOD already locked in for him. Yikes, Athena's shield readjustment there through the Winter Crown. Rora, they can contest this, and Liquid, hey, if they mess up, this is gonna hurt.
Here, they're gonna go for this. Oh, in trouble. They're
BNA.
Go to JP. Light does not want to fight.
자, 잠깐만 보잉.
Backing off.
자, 한 개만 더.
Just yet, Lord.
롤 치강데. 야라. 배터리.
Sanji with a real manipulation, swiping left, swiping right. Oh, line to Demon Kite goes down. The bite down by Light cancels and back.
왜 그노 짜도 말이지.
He goes down. Kill gets
와 다.
Edward holding the line. Rora does not like the situation they're in.
Oh, Sanji bought the immortality. JP as well.
Some guy
Now it's only two on the defense.
No.
아, 저 뭐라 보기. 야.
Inside the base, down goes Yue. There's been no Liquid. The cavalry so strong. 1 and 0.
Đi cho qua lẹ mấy được cá cái mấy được cá cả được. I think I can only put the I lead that put the wrong yard in the session for that. First shot the
Showcase some great skill here by both, but TLPH coming out stronger in kill.
심하게 보자면.
Used by JP.
나가니 싹 좋았나? 아, 피크를 보자면.
Still up there with Carl. Look at the zoning. This is the potential we're talking about. JP's going to pop the robot. Kill. It's still going to be used by JP. Lord's going to go for a little bit of a reset.
Kena kena EXP game yang mana?
Potential we're talking about. JP's going to pop the robot.
Lord's very low. Sanford on the 2.
Okay. We got a game. That was very decisive from
Khang
Team
khang
Liquid
I did run
Philippines
khang
here.
khang
Looking
ini
so
kan win.
strong right
Lord
off the bat.
Marie.
I think that was enough of a reminder of the Harris ban and why it has always been a ban for majority of the playoffs and the regular season too, after people have finally accepted the fact that you cannot let certain players get their hands on this hero.
15 minutes main pha
Way more than
break
that,
yang kan
Rora.
kita
We saw just how well the hero synergies were for Liquid and this lineup, and who else did play the Harris?
Oheb Zara mana
Of
MVP.
course, your MVP is going to be Oheb for that Harif. Really insane movements. Again, 12-0-6. They tried to Radiant Armor their way through it, figured out, but it was just not enough.
Especially in that last part,
Em sabi
where
nje,
Yue got
em
to
pil
fly
po sa
away
ko.
to
Dahil
safety,
nandito
but
ko na.
no, there was enough damage.
MPL po em kano sa to dai ne. First ka chiking ka tang pha ra kano to to.
Just to take him down.
Em ke ba.
And
MC
this
this
guy felt as if he had no struggles whatsoever from the laning phase all the
Ora
way
didi
to
oni
the team
yaw
fights.
to
It
bi
was
chance wang
just
ne. PH.
everything was on
ID
his terms.
yaw
Like,
kan
if
yaw
he
alo kang
wanted
yaw
to
kwa
use the
ni
Zapper
sa.
cores, he had all the freedom to do so. He
Come on,
was
wait,
never
give me
forced to
right.
use it just to
Let me
get
see
out,
the
just to fight back defensively. And Liquid were so effective in ensuring
Kasi
that
amas
he
yung
was
pasal
able
niya.
to do his job.
Ay, may
Yeah,
first na dalawang
overall,
dito.
it feels like it's because of that super beefy front line, the big beefy boys,
the big
right
beefy.
in front of you. Look at the
BBC.
front. It's Carl Tizzy on the Baksha. It's Sanford on it. Even Sanford's on a Trizzler, for Christ's sake.
Yeah.
With JP on the Gatot already, how do you go wrong with that front line? All you got to do is balance out your DPS from the back, and you should be golden. And that's exactly what we saw here, being done by Ohem as well as Sanji.
Yeah, I'm still not over that. The beefy big beefy boys.
Thank you so much for that, Redmar Santa Cruz.
We thank you so much. For
Yes,
that,
what be dog din
little
wai na
line.
bigyan mo katay
'Cause
gan
that's
wai.
exactly what we saw from Liquid.
Yes, what Carlo ka
Every
dog
single
din
time,
wai.
Demon Kite even wanted to just walk up front, approach and actually scout the area, because I think he's the guy who does that best alongside Edward. There could be a quick and immediate turn
Yeah.
from Liquid to just answer back or like pour all of their resources on Demon Kite, because I feel like the way that things turned, and for the longest time there was a more than at least
Ito, ako na.
5k gold lead that existed between these two teams, and being this very damage heavy, team fight heavy lineup that they are, it's such an easy task for them if they wanted to commit, because they have countless ways of just stopping people from running away. The real world being one of those major ways that they always stop Aurora from getting to escape.
Yeah, and the ways that they're also stopping Aurora from getting those kills. You saw earlier Dominkite basically trying to snipe out Sanji, going into his face, and then being blocked by Carl Tizzy, being blocked by JP.
Yeah.
Amazing play, honestly, and that scored them. That
Karena
cemented
tadi hindi,
that
karena
game
lang
for
si
Team Liquid
skuta kan
Philippines.
tuh,
Although,
karena
mind you, it was
Yeah,
a
very good.
long game.
Saya sana
22
kan ko.
minutes
It
and 4
was.
seconds on the clock.
There were a lot of times where Liquid just wanted to end it. It was very obvious that they wanted to end it, but either Aurora found a decent trade in terms of kills. They were able to take, I think one time it was Sanji who they were able to find.
I think they traded Edward or Light for that, something like that, right?
So they had like really good clapbacks. So that stopped Liquid from just trying to commit any further into that, because it was very risky in itself against this lineup who I think in a way you could also consider to have a lot of
That's a lot of
beefy
damage.
front lines and dives, because I think Edward was always trying to go in. He kept going in. He kept using the bravest fighter in. It's just unfortunate that Liquid don't feel the least bit rattled about him doing that, because Sanji can just always pop the real world. He'll have extra shields. Oheb could just use the Zaman Force. He could reposition away.
And you don't fight inside the Zaman Force.
You don't.
Yeah, you
Nowhere.
just don't.
Even the real world, you don't fight inside the real world
That's true,
manipulation.
that's true.
And you can't even jump on Sanford, JP, nor Carl. They don't care.
They had a lot of land-based stuff.
Who got
They
the
had
RB?
shielding.
Or
I
has-
mean,
or has the
Oheb
oil
also
to
shields
win,
himself.
Yes.
You know, so Eve also shields himself for herself. So at this point, what do you actually do if you're Demon Kite? You're kind of stuck between a rock and shielded people.
Yeah.
So what's the plan you're gonna be? The plan was to try to buy some time. Get shielded people. So
Yeah.
what's the plan you're gonna be? The plan was to try to buy some time. Get Dominkite into a good position, but Oheb was just leaps and bounds ahead of him already.
Mind you, it was the Fredrin that they decided to first pick.
That was first pick.
That was the priority for
bisa nang gilaso na
Aurora
punti pa
in
jadi.
this draft.
Exactly.
So they wanted to play around
Gilaso ka lang
that.
punti
They
pa
wanted
jadi.
to
Discord yang salah.
actually go for this utility lineup, but they probably didn't see this coming.
Yeah.
I don't know.
Kay
I
Garano.
think the Heron's been gone for a bit
Kay
too
David
long
draft
that maybe
tayo,
not
wala
even
draft.
Aurora
He doesn't
were
fucking count
aware
one,
that
is
it
it?
was
Ano
actually...
ada ba kaya gano to wan from ko ba sila kang wa ai
Yeah,
po
I
rin
think
kang
they
ai
actually just out of
Kang
the
wa
blue
kang ya
suddenly called
Lord ahong
that.
bisa
Yeah, the Dominic
Lord
double
ahong
is
bisa
something
sana
they
ya
should pay attention to, especially if he gets the Harith, but he's not gonna get the Harith, right?
That's absolutely.
And then he...
But they said the
And then the
Hazard
hand was open.
LP
But the
he's
thing is,
over.
they had the
Yung JP biasa
Yes.
they had
Kan
a first pick.
sung di gano. Hyper
Now,
game
why
tong
they did
mo.
that, I will have to really double check. Sometimes
Nung
it's
nagtapa yung
basically
tinis na
denying.
pwede na
Carl
pataw.
easy that Frederick, he is the Frederick man. If he gets
Alam mo
the
yung
second
adi
most used
Rora
hero,
gisu mo kanu yaw kita ba.
so
Aning
all
chat
time
pini
in.
nga eh demes
Yeah.
pa kanu to nga yaw
It's nice
kita
to
na.
see him on the back track.
Kang kudo ka daw
Because
lugi.
the way he played
Kana-
his back throw was
Adun
just
kana
so
mang kang gidre ba.
precise. You saw how that one moment up top.
Oy head ko mahat na yaw tari kan
Chasing
to mo ba.
Kaya niya ako sa ngam dire
And
baksyan.
hopefully that's gonna be get.
Baksya ka no kana gatu kana pede
Let's
hindi
throw it over.
lakat ka.
Lapu.
Lapu di pa personality, lapu di pa game ni mo. Kasi may da yun lapu na game sa amin ni mo ali to jam tape man sa kayo. Kita pe man sa kayo.
Ay lamang na lamang nasa early
Binanda mo.
mukhang nababawa
Binanda.
pa rin ito ng Aurora because of their plays. May mga hero plays na nakita tayo in specific players, but in the end, it's the
Boy,
page
hyper
na
di
nanaig.
niya malo
Meron lang
sa
akong gustong ipakita sa inyo dito
Yeah,
na
ba?
storyline between the
Hyper
two teams.
hada daw do.
Itong Aurora at
JP na
TLPH
nailay na,
ay
mana-
merong pattern na
Mapesyo to
mas
sa lahat ng
magandang
video na doon.
malaman
Kahit naman
natin
doon,
kung
kadaw.
ano nga ba
Doon,
yung
pataw
mga
yun.
nagpapalakas
Kaya
sa
may
kanila.
doon.
Ang Aurora, interestingly, sila dito sa buong
Bundo yan,
liga
oh,
natin,
salis, ha.
ang
Uy, uy,
nananalo
uy, uy,
sa
ay,
kanila
uhuray.
nila yung first turtle. For example, every time na makakuha ng Aurora,
Ay, Elias, pwede pa ni Kalin,
91.67%
Carly.
chance na maipanalo nila yung laban as long as makuha nila yung first turtle. And kung sakaling first lord naman,
Sino marunong kayo nung nakikita?
96% para sa TLPH. Ganon kataas, ganon ka guaranteed na mananalo ang
first
dalawang teams
turtle,
natin
turtle,
kapag
hama,
nauna
lagi ka nun.
sila sa mga objectives.
Aurora,
Now,
lagi na kayo, sing
when it
gid.
comes to first turret and
May,
first inner
guard
turret,
si Ching
turret,
dito.
kapag
Daw palit,
nauunahan
hapok
to
kayo.
ng TLPH sa pag-siege, ganun din, lagpas 91 of 90% ang kanilang chance ang manalo sa laban. So ibig sabihin, hindi mo talaga pwedeng bigyan ng confidence ang TLPH when it comes to taking your turrets. Napakahirap talunin ng TLPH kapag ito na yung pangyayari. Now,
May binary yan, gano'n, haporo.
pagdating sa first evolved lord, ito yung malayo na yung naaabot. 100% chance kapag nahawakan ng Aurora ang unang evolved lord ng laro. Pwede mo nang itigil, pwede mo nang i-pause, pwede ka nang kumain at kumain ng masasarap na pagkain with Nor kasi masasabi mo na Aurora na yung mananalo. Siyempre sama na natin dyan ang Team Falcons na merong magandang resurgence dun sa dulo ng ating regular season. Ito yung mga stats na napaka-importante
hanggang naman ito.
yan sa mga teams. Kaya naman laging sinasama sa keys to victory natin na wag pa-earlyhin ang Aurora, wag pa-earlyhin ang TLPH. Ganun ang nangyayari. Nakukuha nila ang guaranteed na mga pagkakapanalo. Dahil nga naman,
Lord Mane, may marungang Lord Mane.
bagong kaalaman sa dalawang teams natin, masarap
Maganda,
ang
regular
panalo sa
season
panalo
tawag
with
nga.
Nor.
Kada rin.
Masarap din ang magkaroon ng bagong kaalaman. This is The More You Know. And hopefully ay meron tayong bagong natutunan yan. Abangan natin sa dalawang teams na to. Sino nga ba ang makakauna?
Kaya ba?
Yun, balik na tayo sa ating laban. Back to the
Laba,
panel.
telita braba.
Kasi final eh.
Thank you so much to Mr. Wolf.
The more you know.
The more you know.
Yes.
That's amazing. And we actually, it's
Pwede
actually
mga
really
tarong
good
kali.
to know that apparently
Really good to know.
Yeah, it's really good to know that apparently
Pag em không puti mga blind ni ko
wins
yeng lai je.
90%
Blind
of the
ni
games
ko.
that they get that first turtle win. That's very good information.
Blind ni blind.
Happen here as well.
Yeah.
Moy ni jini em sa sa tu je.
wonder how much this
Kaya
is
nung
gonna
ano na yun siya,
change,
unik tila
especially
ni.
the next few
Chalo,
Well,
rounds.
ni sing si final sang iwan ni jini sa tu.
Ani shita ng
Because that's
tatlo
what
niya.
really
Atay
surprised
unik
me,
lehor
the
ni.
bans.
Bands. Let's have a look
Iya,
at
sila
the
wala
videos
ni.
for that. But before we get started,
Sila
here's one
wala.
of your
Ano
favorite,
dia,
favorite
Jun
segments.
isang
It's
dagom
Pick
tao.
This.
Ha.
RRQ sa sang dam ne ba.
RRQ jangan mo Indonesia jangan mo RRQ Indo. Hoy, unik ka no bil jangan mo transfer ko. Unik
sang mo
mo
ne.
ne.
Unik sang mo ne.
Unik piye chang braja.
Nati unik ID.
Atun na je. Mo di mamang season ka ida na ay kan no kya. Mo ka video. Image season pera kan.
Mamang season nati handaki MPL ID ga MPL sila yeng do ne.
Good luck sa atin. Sana
Oh,
mahula.
sige.
Kita kita sa M7 guys. The final match is gonna be Ohem versus Dominkai, M3 World Champion. EWC 2025 Champion versus Smiling Demon versus the GOAT. And then Mr. Consistent himself, Edward versus the Apex Predator.
Mo Roma na no umaya kan yo ti.
Message mo sa mga supporter ng Aurora.
Ay ba ni dum pa sa na TLPS na mo link mo hen ni tawan.
See you in a
저시 스트림인데 로라가 또 타도 어묵 스트림 다 갈라거든.
Sampai
왜
jumpa.
보고 빤따라다고 다 올라실라다 뭐지.
Sampai jumpa di M7.
See you, Sam7. Woo! Let's go.
Wow, a 5-man ping test.
Yeah.
아래 하우더래.
So first things first,
Fun.
it was a 5-man ping test. Second, there were a lot of things I could not understand.
Yeah, basically though, they're very happy to be here,
Yeah.
and they will see them in M7.
I wonder how the entire world or internet reacted to finalizing our 2 Philippine representatives.
I've actually been trying to scroll through yesterday. I think everyone was tired.
또 그런 이 SRG
They're
둘라
very
아니다.
happy
지금
to
싱가포르
see
기디.
these two teams.
아 싱가포르 말레이시아 기디. 말레이시아도 싱가노도
I'm pretty sure they're
SRG도.
just sitting in their chairs and just looking up.
말레이시아로 가니.
We can confirm that too, you know.
I want to
That's
confirm
his theory.
That's my theory. I want to confirm that. What do you guys think? What do you guys think? What's the feel
You
like?
can also share it yourselves because you're probably watching
You're
here,
already
yeah.
chatting, so let us know. I'm gonna read chat in a few moments. A really good treat. We don't really get to read chat a lot.
Nope.
So let's go ahead and try to read chat in a few moments, especially our international viewers. But before that, we have a bit of a treat for you guys. You know that guy who sang earlier? I think we're gonna have a little bit of a chat with him. Throw it over this stage.
너 이제 MP 주 다해라.
AB 다 들다. AB 다는 농아요 나이디. 게임 사나워 다 와요. 아무 사마래 지금 어디? 아무 사마 들어. 아래.
Hi Almira, hello everyone here at MPL
아무 사마래
Philippines.
지금 어디? 뭐 이제 무슨 거지? 아무 사마래.
너는 라 가져라 동안에 연전.
어때? 말해 이렇게.
Yeah, it was surreal because it's my first time to actually perform on a stage like this, and you know, I appreciate all the love and support everyone has been showing to the music and also to all the players right now.
Kay DC na lang lahat sa ganun din no. YouTube ko dun dahil yan dito.
Tell us more about your music.
Well, my music, ano siya, medyo dreamy in a way and introspective, so you guys can follow me on Spotify, Apple Music. I'll be having a new song actually next month.
Wow! Surprise ba yun?
Around November-ish.
Pwede bang konting teaser or...
Title niya, sige, sabihin ko na. Title niya, Hindi Mo Alam.
At hindi talaga namin alam.
Hindi, yun talaga yung title niya.
Yun talaga yung title.
Oo, yeah.
Yes, at aabangan namin yan mga super fans. And nandito nga tayo sa Grand Final. Sabi mo kanina naglalaro ka ng Mobile Legends. Sino ang favorite hero mo?
Pinatry sa akin actually dati. Jungle, Gushon.
Ay, ang hirap nun
gusto lang ba ng favorite? Ba sige isa ko 빠지기 favorite hero gusto na rin ba?
Nandito tayo ngayon in front of the
Ay, gusto na ba rin?
Anong gusto mong sabihin sa mga teams na naglalaban-laban ngayon?
Gusto na ba?
To all the teams, to everyone playing right now, always remember why you started. And you know, laban lang. Good luck.
Laban lang. I love that. So before we end this interview, anong gusto mong i-plug or social media accounts mo?
Hello, magandang gabi sa inyong lahat. My name is Ace Banzuelo. I'm a singer,
Bueno,
songwriter,
music
music
producer.
producer. You guys can follow me at Ace Banzuelo on Spotify, Apple Music, Facebook, Twitter, Instagram. I'll be having a new song next month. Abangan.
Once again, let's give it up for Ace Banzuelo! Alright, atat na nga ang super fans sa game number 2. Kaya naman, over to you, panel.
오도래 라.
There you go. Thanks so much, Almira. Man, Ace. Breaking the serenading you, chat. What's up with that?
No, that's the song he sang a
Philippines
few
speaking
moments
MPL
ago.
PH
In case you guys want to check
Rob
it
sa
out.
PS mo kang ba?
Muli.
If you want to relapse really quickly while we're doing the grand finals, go ahead and drop him a search on Spotify.
You can. We've been having guests over for the past couple of days.
A lot of musicians, by the way.
And they've had very different genres.
Yes, we got
Each and every
Nobita
time.
yesterday. At first day we had like Bark,
and then we had Unexpected, and then we had
crazy.
There were a lot of guests that we had. Thank you so much to Sony Music.
Thank you so much. And it's really surprising that so many different kinds of people actually watch MLBB and play MLBB.
Yeah, he was a jungler. He was a Gushron main.
Exactly. We have so many artists that I know, like you know, aside from the ones that were here, like people like the big bands here in the Philippines, like Sponge Cola, and all that. They actually play MLBB like really high level.
I did not expect that.
Yeah. So really super surprised. I'm very amazed. And we thank each and every one of you, especially you guys in the chat. You guys are always so cool for hanging out with us. So
you're so cool.
See, Brigida thinks you guys are cool. So be cool, okay? So we're going to the draft here shortly for game number 2. What are we expecting, Bri? Do we still want to see that Franco make an appearance?
But
Franco depends on the lineup, I'd say. There was a bit too much dive. It was a bit too overwhelming for the Franco to actually even find the right targets, nor even use the Bloody Hunt onto one, because he'd be always presented with either of those big guys.
That's right. Oh, by the way, Brigida, turn the sense ang ganda mo. Wow.
Mas maganda ka.
So we're getting started here, guys. What's the map gonna be like? Earlier it was expanding rivers. This time it's broken walls.
Broken wall tayo. Nó tao broken wall tayo live now. Si MPLP chứ. Anh nhìn của team broken wall tayo.
I guess this would be a much more fun backshow game.
Why do you think so? Why do you think so?
No, if he had the backshow again earlier, and that's so much more.
Backshow event na ano kuka. Sama ni mga event ni.
With the backshow's banned, actually, just as he mentioned it. So again, the Harith is gonna be open, but the priority is safe. Fredrin gets picked up by Liquid. So now we can potentially see the Harith in Doming's hands.
That is gonna be a treat for sure. I
did
not hesitate. Brigida went straight for the jugular, as they say, and they know that he can play it very well. So Rora gonna be happy to give that over to Dominkai. Now on the jungle side, what do you actually do when Carl Fisi is so adamant to pick up a Fredrin?
Yeah, I guess similar to what we saw.
Very
common response.
Alpha Pedal Chever Lawrence, Bam Madia, take it back. My little bad Bakito. Oh, my
all the way. Why does it feel like we're
My
just
little
switching
Bandi.
I know. What the heck?
The hyper the link penny of Bandi.
If this is the
If this is the obviously they will not have the front line.
They by Shipper hyper cute time naive.
So they will have to choose a different one. Chim is not banned here, Bri.
Yeah, even the CC's getting snubbed.
Even the CC's super late on the bans earlier.
Yeah, it's...
I think it was blue 4 or blue 5 ban.
Yeah, but maybe that's one consideration that we can probably look at for Aurora. Do they want to pick up you as hero now? Earlier it kept getting banned. So now they actually pay attention to the CC.
Speaking of which,
finally we see it now. So far Aurora's lineup's really looking very stable. It's very common to see the lineup CC anyways. It's just a matter of how you're going to really execute the team fights. So mid lane heroes, we'll be looking at that heading into the second banning phase.
Yes, very
heavily here. Also not picking up in the first 3 phases. What do you think about that? It's like most of the tanks are getting picked up first.
Oragi build Oragi tip order the Paco Pasha for the Harith right now, because so if you put another really annoying frontliner,
but she threw vision tackle at the area.
that's gonna be a big headache for Aurora, especially considering that we don't see what Saji's hero to.
Yun na distil nila.
What Saji's hero is to just yet. It could be it could be a mid laner that's also very reliant on positioning, and
it could be a hyper carry mid laner as well, like a Kimmy.
The falling stars brought us here. They're all still open up to
Pero
this
no ba
point,
to
but
siya
who's the
kana?
preferred
Saji na kana figure no ba para.
What could they be considering? Again, I think the common matchup in the mid lane was a Selena
among the planes exists
well, that's equilibrium,
but they banned
which I will
By JP pa ko pa na hidan
not really have been seen since maybe day 3 or day 2 of the playoffs.
Aboy matang manan drop ki makapo le may siya.
Ano
I think Rora needs
Mo di hero hay hero loy hay
similar
ni
to
ka
what
hay
the
ta
Heat
hero
was in that game number 1.
That's open. That's
season
still
gi
open.
meta ar le may siya.
They actually want to consider that. So they go
Sicilian. All right.
Actually, they may katara rin nila sa atin.
Definitely wants to play at a very
Kasi na ako pa rin yung banwa ganida. Si Please ya. Kaya na ako ba? Kimi Kimi tazo din.
Looking at what JP still might want to pick up here.
Kalil benta ko ba?
If it's the rumor heroes that are still available, the chip Kalea
Chip
still
nga
there,
rin
but
eh.
the
Chip nga rin
AOG,
ko.
I might not want to pick the chip into this lineup that Aurora has. Kalea again keeps getting snubbed.
Yeah.
Hylos is there.
What is up?
Tiger pa siya lo.
Hylos is there though.
It's a good front line, but I still think the chip is a good pick here.
payback.
Pako para pako.
Hilda eh. But what's the jungler for Aurora?
Oh, they left it for last, actually.
Hayabusa's still there.
I would not mind an assassin jungler in this matchup. I feel like you
Mamagi. Kaya ma, karon to mamang siya di mo odi PS meta lay na mo pick to. Hay di meta lay bio mo isa ni na ko. Atu ne ba je mo PS PS tau lay je.
Si kay mo moy po le kam bro, moy di moy kapag na ito ni se. Valentina, esa po ko por esa di.
I would have not
Valentina esa po kini o sanji je. Melero esa po kini.
But and it's not a Barrett's accompanied by any kind of support. There's no Mathilda.
It's just the Barretts.
It's just the Barretts.
So they're gonna go hand in hand and with Dagatot Kasha try to keep this front line, this back line alive rather. So it is going to be a big question of whether or not TLPH can bypass the Barretts.
This is so interesting. A Fredrin Barrett's matchup.
What season is this?
What season are we in?
Oh my goodness, this is going to be a treat for the Barrett's mains for sure. But for the meantime, we're going into game number 2. TLPH
You know, that's the same question we were asking ourselves here on the desk. I said we're going to go through an evolution of the meta, game to game. Well, yes, what season is this? A Fredrin Bears jungle.
Oh, we are so back. And I bet you, Naisu, started to miss Homa. Because you're a bit of a revisit to a...
Hep si Genzer. Ya, ba niya dito ben kay tito.
Aurora. Okay.
Rora.
I like the Barretts, but this means that Rora are playing around their magic damage. They're playing around the Sicilian and the Harris.
That ganun
Kung
partial level 2 kung mayroon yung
Amin yung sino na lagi.
Level 2 yung diba?
Oh, ganun to naman. Malaw ka na.
Let's see if Aurora can make this work. This is a very high
risk,
but
you
making it look rewarding because he is undefeated with the Sicilian.
And this is once again a specialty Harith.
Yeah,
they have done 100 different things to ban out this Harith, and here he ends up with it.
And that's why I'd say this is looking good. Like if you go down to the draft, I don't know what people say about the Barretts now.
Well, pressure le sana di nga ni.
But this is already good. That's the thing. It's so brand new and so old at the same time that people don't have strong opinions about it.
You're not sure, you know? You're like, Is it still good or not?
Yo, man, if it wins, everyone's gonna say, wow, what a brilliant pick. If it loses, boo, like, why'd you pick the Barrett? But, personally, I like it. So, let's see, as we're looking at the action of the big screen, from time to time, I encourage our viewers to look at the map, see how the laning is actually going between Dominkite and Oheb, because this is what's gonna be
whoever moves first is geared at it.
How well can Dominkite actually manage Oheb in the gold lane and win in the gold lane?
Turtles up. Something already happening here. Even kind of will start this up, but
Wait, mềm nhau kìa. Tôi này là tôi bên cái khát tâu này bạn. Cái tôi ở bài tập bên này mà. Chỉ đi này à. Nó tỷ xem phút chỉ được bao nhiêu.
Custom blast, missile expert, not enough to place Carl Teasy. Rora got the Lignor Road, happy with that one objective.
Okay, we were able to balance things out with a kill, but yeah, Demonkite actually getting a retribution battle win against Carl Teasy there. Nothing that he was able to. But you see now, Liquid, even though they lose a turtle, they're not afraid to fight and re-engage. So Rora, especially Light, needs to keep that in mind. UN needs to keep that in mind. JP's still been super annoying for Rora to deal with. His positioning is at the hill is one of the reasons why they were able to get the kill eventually onto Edward.
All right, take a look at the items too. You saw that you have about a couple hundred gold in favor.
Back into the tower, and Dominkite was actually recall spamming in front of him, so we weren't able to see that on the big screen. But again, I encourage y'all, look at the map from time to time. Okay, good thing JP was able to. I feel like after that, that's when Oheb told JP, hey, I need your help here, join out. So now you see Rora, especially like trying to get vision in the jungle. I'm pretty sure Dominkite knows that JP's hanging around here.
He's fine. Light on his tail, flushes him out.
No, guys,
seemingly with instant reaction, and they'll serve up this.
Cái nó cái level gap chứ đấy. Oheb có cái nó cái đôi mình cái level gap chứ đấy. Ama level 6 rồi mình.
Ama ne advantage for me and Honda. Only means Honda be great me and Honda.
Got a fat wave. Still gonna be really close. No team can find a big win in the gold lane just yet. The EXP lane, it's.
She fight the. Turtle ji cái nó lâu rồi, tiết pitch lâu rồi thì không vào ra. Mấy mình farm hơn gì đấy.
Really nó lâu đúng không?
Anh đi mất rồi. Anh đi mất rồi. Đây ai đâu rồi? Ông. Alam ako para tawag.
Again, JP on the hill, plus the fact that Oheb got the miraculous using the dance that was all Liquid.
Damage ka na pito eh. Silent lang mo ari niya. JP na hero.
I'm thinking when JP's utility will expire, and if that'll ever happen,
Kaya man tayo.
Minion dokang tapi miju wow ini dah.
Nang tu sama isim satu bila yang ni nama ni.
Bro,
Meron talaga kasi kaham.
JP's locked in. JP is so locked in right now. So are everyone else inside Liquid. Massively now he's the one. This Hilda again, dude. There's so many problems every team fight. It seems like
Tlid तो मैं कार दिख रहा आई मतलब नहीं बना दिखा ले कार दी हाई खाना वो भी हाई बनी वो कार दी तो मैं कार दी
One one tadi domain kai dan naik jah oh itu.
Sang Dio.
Selapu isi kai tu sahaja.
Weirdly enough, good news for
Long
Rora, but at least one of your lanes
no masang collector update the collector lah kan ya. Bukan long
in my humble opinion, I think Yue is more of a power player now than he was in game 1. So at least
no why long.
Ada lah tu depan pada.
16-18 minute mark, they should be in a better shape compared to game 1.
Multi match na bijan diri. Inna igo. Aku be bilang tu di mana?
Dia tu yole. Bro.
Death Sonata or the Rhapsody that got it.
โดนคนที่ว่าไอ้ปาปาตันเมสอันจีนต้องโดนต่อเขาได้ว่าปีเนาะมาเลย
继续这边找我的呗。
继续还能做。
给我炸他妈的，杆儿头下他妈的。
抓这边没能过。
炸炸。这逼等起，等到这等。
完了，那个都是我的差，不然的完了这，一个空空的。
完了这，
再来一遍呗，再来一遍没干不到。他这里会投的出来吗？
我差那个对面少了干的。
Wih, dia dulu malah.
Alam mas masuk semua mau aku.
Habis ah. Wih, dia dulu malah.
Then they should be okay.
Kadang tayo bisa main.
Has been doing well to keep Edward down.
Rotates
out, and I think that's a small victory for Rora. That bottom lane that Expedite did take care of. The Dominant Kite is ready. Rora is right now because if you're waiting for US still, that's about 6-7 minutes out from now. Like that is a non-starter if you want to fight now for this first war.
At least in that case that
or Rora said defensive I him with the hit.
Cái thằng bám thì có khang rồi mà.
When defensive hay take over his.
He's gonna have a whole lot to deal with, so can't exactly push the lane.
When it takes you back long to follow the one I had. Sanji position still passage.
Ah, madre.
Sanji is staying way back. He's actually floating around the orange.
Mami la piek lai la for hard to see what can be.
Tôi lên là quay là đột thu tôi là mình đấy. Đi bên sau
I think it was the info, the fact that Sanji got into the orange buff without
Aduh,
any vision
ya.
at all. I think Liquid decided to just call, hey, I think all of them are just down there already in the
Sao làm ra để nào vậy?
So I think Sanford was able to get away in time. And when you're gonna look at Barrett's and the Lapu Lapu, you're waiting for the timing of the Brave
Mini
Spider.
terang ini guys. Dia.
A little bit of the Lapu Lapu should help
Di luar kau ini nang brawl tu. Brawl.
It's a non-starter.
Kan tu mau baik jadi. Turun.
I was kind of surprised too that they were so
Ngai
especially
punya.
with Dominant Kite.
If was like I didn't know.
hay là tôi đu kia. Ta đây.
Pasal kan antar bitre ni tu nani. Pasal tak bi tam mengam ni kan. Tak free Thai je pasal.
Jago saja lah semua.
Good today. The positioning of Sansan. The
Pero oye, Rora, the Shiga hanya betul
right at the very furthest edge of his feathered airstrike, still got the kill onto Edward, and then eventually Sanford coming through, readjusting so that the other members of Rora can clap back. Skeptical towards the barracks was good, but still with a
position ni bay, position low weight ni bija ni hoji
all
kira.
the way to the dominance.
Position ni online
already up to the
ngai low sanji jadi. Ni es pai position low weight jadi wang.
For Dominant Kite's Harith, and that's the item that they need right now.
It's crazy how
Ay,
it
Smain.
fell apart so
Smain,
fast.
yeah, no, I
Right.
want to.
You know, he was winning that lane against Oheb, and then all of a sudden he's down in what 2,000 gold. Oh.
How you too much damage?
Yeah,
Yes,
it's
oh
bad.
yeah.
He's gotta go heal back up. I don't know, he's having a good time.
When it comes to big fights, Rora just doesn't have enough utility. I don't
Ra
know.
tiêu. Vì cái này nhiều chuyện phải chúng ta tự nhiên ai lùm sang này.
CC they have
Đó
is
kia
Sanford
cái nó
Easy.
chân cái hả kìa.
Makes it look like he has
Cái
it.
nó.
He's using that as a threat to make up for
Cái
that.
khăn gì mà kia tôi mai này, ấy có mà kia biểu có mà này
Looking to go hunting, jumps onto you,
nó cây hay kiểu ấy giờ vào đất kia cái này dân bà gà dân là.
Feather strike by Sanji. Surgical approach to take it to tier 2.
Yeah. The fact that JP changed the trajectory of his walk, he used a second skill, I believe, on Minion, making it look like where Yue brought down his Bat's claws, actually, the Sanguine claws, would have caught JP. But JP was like, nope, I knew you know that I'm going to go there, so I'm going to go this way instead, setting up with a feathered airstrike for Sanji, stopping any responses from Rora.
Very well for CLPH. They find themselves now 6K up. They're going to put pressure on the purple, and they got it as well. So Demon Kite, no buff here.
Demon Kite sarai
I
là.
mean, it's not just that the Barrett is kind of slow to move on his own, but realistically, you're able to be kind of that front line, but then you
Vai bara se pick to pick doing it.
And try to make that work, but it's
Minion
not
ga place
working
tau sala
the
di
way
pick
they
to ni.
want to.
Minion hazal
I
le
feel
ga
like
di
a big
sa
part of
ni
that is because, again, it's Domenkai that's taken a lot of damage before a big fight even breaks out. So then his positioning is then at risk of that.
Yeah, in the heyday of Barats, there would always be a hero like a Matilda.
When a game when the pie did minute gather. Min Polakani, Star Mini Gather Polaka, Papu, name was our.
We just have to sidestep. We just have to move over here.
Ơi cái đó cũng thế phù không đẻo luôn cũng mà after đó cũng một cái tower mình nên nói tăng khang nhà tại khang đẻo ai thì mà tao tao mẹ
luôn có chắc cái đi timing chắc là lấy được đi
mình nên du khang nghe và khang mà đi à giờ mà sao mới damage cái nó phát ra lạc vào chi
파사 보이 현재 아마 이 사람이 파사가 엄청 넘리지도 뭐 현파 파사 파이어
해 엄마가 뭐니 에 EXP는 좀 더 위에서 난 뭐야 그래 그 맞짱이도
Not enough time though, the turret still stands. But the Lord is up, so they'll reset, they'll make their way for the Lord.
A lot of questionable decisions for the side of Rora. I know for them it's like, yay, cool, we got Carl Teasy, but there's a massive deficit for you. If Carl Teasy shows himself in the map like that, there's always at least going to be one or two members of the team ready to swoop in. Bro, that's a Fredrin. He can't take that damage. Questionable for Rora.
He wants to take that damage.
Yeah.
And in the wake of that stumble, again, a wipeout. Rora, see another Lord go for the liquid.
I'd say you see the value in him. That's what Fredrin is. And with this, the Lord is secure. They'll get ready to go ahead and take down some of these base turrets of Rora's. Again, the lead has ballooned to 10,000. And honestly, Rora has not had an answer for anything so far through this game.
Namak tong mali ba? Do commit ka. What kiburi ka na siya
isn't there. I mean, he's got what, 2 items he's working on next. Domik finally gets his holy crystal, man.
So, hafta siya abdala.
At least clear the waves of that.
Sure. Mớiช่วยบอกกันก็ตัวตัดในการช่วยbuat kato kagak tuh tanam jelak pada buat ketuk ketama kato malam itu tadi.
Hold on. They do get a base turret.
Watching ya.
Go down. The Lord is still being worked on here. So Rora is able to clear it out. 12,000 now for DLPH. They take the discipline route. They end up taking out this mid turret next. Tier 2 is going to be the focus here. Stanford jumps forward. Now forward. Desperately trying to hold on. Look at the feather.
Pasal damage ke dalam dia.
Too much. Rora
HP yang mahal.
Pull a miracle, and at this point, Liquid. In night and day performance from what we saw from the last time we saw Liquid and Aurora go up against each other. Remember, going into this, Liquid has not beaten Aurora in a series. Now, 2 games in the best of 7 grand finals, they are just dominating Aurora.
Demon Kite gets taunted here. Energy eruption working out.
Saja tahu dia pakai dia pakai. Pakai dia tahu.
In comes Edward. Down goes Carl Teasy. Where did this come from? JP getting chased down by Edward. Down goes Demon Kite. Demon Kite looking to vengeance for his fallen brother.
Nah, sakit rumah bilang.
JP down. Broken wall working out for him. 3 for 1. Ohem, former brothers, agents, now turn right. Ohem wins.
Back and forth. And it erupts here in the arena, but Rora might have
Jangan gere, kita hanya ada pun, mai do.
Tak nak salah.
Tak nak salah. Aduh game. Tadi supposed to ngam ngam mo jadi tu kan tu kiri. Bot tu ini macam ni.
He was not supposed to be there that close. Light and Edward came in perfectly for the.
Sanji shoyi begini dah. Sanji.
Sanji jangan jangan mai di miss
was spacing out very
well
well for Ohem.
타다라고 시가야
eventually got that
왜 이렇게
kill.
되면
싸우네.
After the clap back, Liquid now, I think that was a warning shot. Aurora are definitely back in this, while Liquid still hold a comfortable lead. Remember, there is already a holy crystal on
히리
that
집 파
Harith
야한
Atomic.
루이요. 히리 집 많이 좋았다고요. 니 하우스 도.
Respect what Rora's able to do, though. Let Demon Kite go ahead and start that Lord. They're fighting for position here.
짱글
Looking for
짱글
peace position.
헤헤헤 때문에 디번가 짱글이고 디번가 AJP
Less than half health. The Feather Strike comes down.
Silent Force by Dominic Kite. He's got
Division
Sanford
winning
Drake
like
on
you.
him. Dominic Kite very low. Down goes Edward. Oh,
Sorry.
이래도 시위하더래
taking out the equation. Lights
로이 할래.
are
로이 할래.
very low. Forfeiting mortality. Oh, wailing away. Dominic
Real
Kite,
deal.
Yue and Demon Kite cutting their losses. No
그렇지
retribution for
야를
Liquid.
떠라래
It's on the gold laners now. And I think all TZ needs to understand, like, with the damage already on that Harith, he can't be like the main front guy. But I think Liquid decided to commit that turn. They decided to go call for the hero instead. And now you see some very classic echo shenanigans
Classic.
of where
Classic,
Sanji is
classic.
right now. Very deep in.
ESPG ko si Sige Mote Esmeralda mga pa
Because the
man
last
i
time we
kang
saw
ni.
something like this, it was held for like, what, 4 or 5 minutes?
You know I need for that, huh?
Yeah, and not only that,
Lampu,
Leo mentioned this
yeah.
earlier on. Especially with UA on the Sicilian here, he's going to need plenty of time. We'll look at his 313 stats.
Ano ni mo pi
Almost
ja yao de ba.
an 18-minute mark. That's why we're seeing the impact.
이거
The
왜 뛰어
impact.
아니 왜 뛰어 왜 뛰어
One kill away from max stacks. 70 on the Sky Piercer. That
Yes.
means he's been getting all of his kills off after he got the Sky Piercer.
Oh, yeah.
Demon Kite hiri ji.
So even though Rora,
all
you
that
see them fighting very well, Oheb's not dying. And now the pressure is on the Domikite and Oheb. It's really on them right now to mess
ยัง
up.
ปีนี่ชนะเขาเข้าเกม
Lucky with their air strike, zoning Yue out.
Flicker down too.
JP as well.
Liquid
Sa
cannot blitz
diyaw
this.
sila.
They have to wait for the feather air
마가
strike.
시끄러 모이다 라티 kuid다네
And it was Oheb that grabbed that.
이제 비염 우리 까야 뭐 이제 좀아 가오자 그래
Defense like JP.
ป่วยแล้วล่ะคือนี่ฮิริท้าไปเลยนะแต่ดู
Out of 10 of itself, Sanford with the Brave Spider. Silent Force fight Dominic. They're bursting down.
그럼 오히려 그래도 아 맞죠
Immortality off.
뭐 그리고 디비스야
맞아요.
서지 디비스 디프자리
맞아요. 로에.
로래 로래
AOG by Light does not find
아니 디비스 디야들이
the Demon Kite. This is close to over. Nothing for Rora on the board. Down goes Sanji. Can
Pero la
Light
mini.
the breaker from Daddy JP.
Oheb there, he's looking for more. He takes out another, and Oheb will get another.
Why
It's
check
a
มาแล้ว
wipeout.
ว่า
Liquid continue their
ว่า
momentum.
จะละก้า
여러분들 뭐 꿈꾸게 뭐 하다
ว่าได้คือ3ตัวว่าเลยว่าจะเดบิวต์ผู้ชาย
Sanji and Oheb on point. The man-to-man defense from JP. Liquid do not let go of the hopes of the Golden Road.
Oheb back-to-back games.
ว่าก็ละ
Phenomenal, locked in there. Comes in, cleans up. And
ไม่ใช่
JP
ที่
as
ที่
well, man. We gotta
ทอง
throw
คือ
a
มันตลอด
band
ที่
to
เขาโดน
break
โพส
this
ต์
one down.
เย้
And that is an unofficial
เพื่อนมันตัว
savage
ใหญ่เลยเนี่ย
for
ใหญ่ตัว
Oheb.
ตัว
Look at that. I have, like you mentioned
exactly.
earlier, man, I have never seen Oheb this insane before.
I've never seen him this angry. He looks mad. You could feel the emotions
ตัว
in
นี้
his
แหละแบบไม่
gameplay.
ชอบตอบสุด
And for this entire regular season, I just saw him as a more low-key, does the job, but it's not that flashy kind of gold laner as what we probably are so used to seeing him. But now, it's different. Game number 1, he had Harith, he was just unstoppable. But who made all of this possible in the first place?
Of course, it is Daddy JP there going crazy with the Hilda actually in the first few minutes of the game.
Wow.
He was non-stop here. That's
Yeah, he never let go of
Maybe
that.
he's more
Wow.
So you could see
You gotta make those
why.
first hits
Muy
count,
raro
right? Yeah.
And why he was so confident in burning the flicker just to chase after kills and pick it up for himself. And I think he did get a couple of kills.
เรากระชากไว้ไปอยู่ตา
I
กันละ
saw a few times where he hesitated to swing the axe.
Yeah,
He
maybe
was
just
trying to get the kill.
give way, yeah.
But Carl Teasy was about to die at that specific moment. So he said, you know what, I'll take it.
ที่
Let's
ก็
go.
จะบอกฉันเป็นฮีโร่ชูตัวว่าฮีโร่ไปอ่ะแต่ที่มึง
Necessary
ตัวเอง
for Team Liquid to really again stampede their way to victory.
ดราฟต์ตัวยูดราฟต์ตัวฮีโร่ปีอ่ะแต่ว่าอย่างคนเดียวก็ตัวก็สร้าง
guy has been always undefeated in a grand final. And how is Liquid playing this good against Aurora, who again they never beat in the regular season?
Yeah, he's like a grand final savant. He's a maestro here. As you can see how
Kamu
he
sudah mana
is
ni? Pelari gua
this
ni
kind
gua
of movement coming in from Team Liquid Philippines. The big pincer maneuvers, they have so much confidence going into the team fight. Again, because of very reliable backline support from OM as well as, of course, their front line, which is crazy on that Fredrin. We're seeing the reason why Carl T really is a Fredrin man so far for MPLPH.
Yeah, and honestly, it was also partly Aurora, and as our casters mentioned, making some really questionable decisions throughout.
That's right.
Not as clean as the Aurora we're so used to seeing.
I'm looking forward to Rora cleaning it up for game number 3. Because if this keeps going, we might go early today. I don't want to see that. Everyone's guessing a game 7 here.
I don't want to see that too. And maybe we can also kind of recall how we all felt about the Barretts in the start, in the beginning, when it was revealed to us in the draft, because there were a lot of, I don't know, uncertainty around it. There was a lot of uncertainty around the Barretts pick. Aside the fact that it's not paired up with a support hero that we did mention before heading into the game.
Yeah, like the Matilda, it helps with mobility.
Yeah, it should be there. Usually the Barretts is very hard to pull off, even way back when it was meta, if you don't have that by its side. So what more now that it's not entirely in the meta, and Liquid are just stampeding their way through with this kind of lineup that they have.
Basically, if you don't have like an S-test to make sure that you are not dying right away, or a Matilda to get you out of harm's way, maybe make a very fancy Dayton is welcome play, it's really bad. And it's been giving bad results in the previous meta. But now, we're seeing, again, Renmar said it, like, if it wins, it's good. If it's bad, you know, if it doesn't loses, is it automatically bad though? I guess we'll have to see, because we haven't, it's only game 1. Sorry, it's 1 game.
It's just 1 game. It's not a best of 5, so Aurora still has 2 more chances of actually evening out the series and not letting Liquid actually secure the win. But yeah, maybe it was a bit too apparent that they clearly tried to play too much for Yue and Dominkite here, even when there were no other options for utility jungler, or for meta utility junglers left. So maybe they really settled with that idea, and I don't think it's that bad, because Barretts, it's like something very similar to the Fredrin in a sense.
Yeah, you know what? We saw some pretty fancy maneuvers earlier in the mid-game where we said, you know what? Oh, Rora, what are you doing?
Yeah.
Right? Maybe they could pull something off.
But that's it. They weren't able to.
Yeah, it was just a one-off, apparently. I thought they could kind of momentum their way out of that one, but apparently that did not happen. So far, that was a 19-minute game, which we expected would be very good for the Sicilian, which it did to some extent. The Sicilian did hurt, but once your enemies start jumping onto you, the range of the Sicilian and what it can do kind of just diminishes.
That dude, I think they got really outranged in this game. The Farsa and the Granger, plus the Skypiercer stacks, plus the amount of damage they already got, because they were very much ahead in terms of gold, was too much for Aurora to handle. That even if Demon Kite and Light tried to put themselves up front, they couldn't tank it, or Liquid don't care. They will just try to bypass, or just try throwing out their resources onto either Yue or Dominkite. They'll be the ones looking for them instead. Like, they know that Demon Kite nor Light won't pose that big of a threat. So what's stopping them from playing so aggressively? And even Sanji, we saw him holding some very rare or unusual bushes. It was even mentioned by the casters that it reminds us of a same or similar play years ago, where 5 minutes that person just stayed in that bush. Well, Sanji didn't do that, but
not 5 minutes, but it's the same effect. effect, right?
Yeah, you get the point. It's so aggressive from Liquid.
Aggressive, which is again their signature coming into this one. Oheb is the BPI rich guy with 878 GPM. He went loco in this one, folks. He went loco
in the past 2 games.
In past 2 games, honestly. And in this one, I was saying maybe part of it is also, you know, he is facing off against one of his brothers, one of his favorite teammates, Edward. We saw that earlier when Edward was going insane on the bottom side. It's so poetic. It was Oheb who shut that down.
Yeah, we were all screaming, oh, it's Edward and Oheb up against each other down bottom when they actually had that team fight, but
my heart.
Those were just one of the many encounters they had so far in the past 2 games. It's so unfortunate that we don't get to see Aurora play their game just yet.
Yeah, I don't think this is Aurora's game.
This is not. They're much more cleaner than this.
I know. So I'm wondering what needs to happen here, and maybe they'll get a little bit more of an idea of what needs to happen here against Yue. I would like to see Yue back on the queue, at least for 1 game.
Yeah.
Just bring back that savage feel that we saw in the regular season.
I also think this was a Sicilian's first loss.
It is, I think so.
Because every time they bring out the Sicilian, it's either a do or die, it's either I don't know, they choked out you as other options kind of situation, but he pulls it off either way. But this was different. It wasn't a last pick Sicilian, it was I think a first phase Sicilian.
Yeah, very early. I think second, the red 2, I think there was red 2.
Yeah, but even then, it didn't work. So it's really unusual to see Aurora in this kind of position. We're hoping that they actually find a way to regroup heading into game number 3, but if we are gonna put a bit more highlight onto Sanji, what else can we say about this Farsa performance even?
I mean, usually Farses are pretty laid back, right?
Yeah.
But this one, Sanji also was on fire here. There's just no other way to say it. He went also very aggressive.
Even against a Gatot, a CC.
Gatot usually cancels out your feathered airstrike, so usually you want to stay far away.
Yeah.
But in this one, Sanji really played like, I don't mind. Let's go ahead. Let's do it out.
I don't care. Let's go.
So, is that the mode that we're seeing Team Liquid in right now? Is this a mode where they don't really have any fear against any pick? That's a scary Team Liquid.
That
right?
is.
So before that though, obviously, I hope that our players are taking water, especially with SIP purified water, which is filtered through volcanic rocks for a crisp, clean taste that quenches like no other. Alis Uhaw?
Translate Alis Uhaw in a bit. But also, just so you guys know, if you have no funds to shell out for air conditioning units that will only use once, worry not, because Arctic Aircon Rental has a wide range of packages that will surely fit your budget.
Yeah, be it an outdoor function or an outdoor affair. Sorry, an indoor function or outdoor affair. I mixed those two up, I'm sorry. Arctic or Aircon actually rental is here to make your events cool and fuss-free while keeping your guests comfy. Which again, they're the ones actually doing this whole thing. And this whole...
You can see why his hair is like...
But the air is blowing in my face.
Yeah.
It's so cold, I'm actually shivering in a place where it's usually very hot. So thank you so much. And of course, let's go to Go Hotels. If you want to go explore more, hashtag Go Explore More with Go Hotels. Go ahead and book them right here. If you need a place to chill in while you are waiting after a very tiring grand finals, there's one nearby here.
Yeah.
So
our casters are always excited to head back
and chill
to Go Hotels after a long day, because we've had long days throughout our playoffs. This isn't new to us, by the way. Even in season 15, we've had like the first 2 days with all maxed out series, 2 best-of-5s
and 20-minute games.
So this isn't new to us, but we're glad we have Go Hotels this time.
Thank you so much for Go Hotels for keeping us near the area and making me not commute all the way to the middle of the tournament. Thank you so much. So we are going to go ahead and get into the smart power pose though. Put your game face on and make your smart
do the pose.
Do the pose.
Oh, there you go.
It's a classic Oheb pose.
Come on.
Is no one willing to take the challenge?
Oh, there you go. That's good.
It's from Rora's side.
You just keep the tip of your finger right under your nose.
Shush the haters.
Yeah.
Shush the doubters, boys and girls. Come on.
Okay. Oh, he had to take off his glasses, so it's more accurate. Okay.
That's right. Oheb doesn't have glasses.
Okay, I think this is a face-off. This is gonna be a face.
Oh, wow. That's how you do it. They're trying to...
I like it. Okay.
They're trying to style their hairs.
Every time it pans to the other, they'll be fixing their hair first and then okay, congratulations, sir. You are unfortunate.
Can you win too?
You win.
Can they both win? Please,
everyone thinks you're still a winner.
Yeah, we're all winners here with experiencing such a beautiful match like this. And again, highest tier MLBB action, I think.
Yeah.
So
I mean, look at that. How often do you see the top one forced to draft a lot more differently than they usually do?
This is completely different Rora, honestly, that we're seeing.
I don't know where to start, honestly. I could feel how Coach RC is also like really mad. He said it, right?
He said it yesterday.
Yesterday and in another interview that he blames himself.
I think for game one, for day one, where they lost.
Yeah, match against Falcons before their rematch during day one of plays, and he says he blames himself because he wasn't there. Or like he wasn't able to help because again he had to recover. So now, look at him. Look at Coach RC now.
He's on fire.
I
feel like, come on, we need... Should we go back to basics here? Like master the basics?
I don't know if you should be my pillow. The exam.
Right now, it feels like we are hemorrhaging wins. We're hemorrhaging
fundamentals were always what we were looking forward to see in Aurora's playstyle and how these fundamentals. They're a team you always want to look forward to seeing or to look up to when you want to like double check on how you're doing your fundamentals. It's a bit too clean. It's unbelievably clean. So now I feel like everyone's really confused as to what's happening, what's going on. But it's nothing that they can't recover from. We've seen this time and time again. Aurora, if there's one thing that they've learned throughout time, definitely it's to adapt a lot more better in situations like this.
Adaptability is something that we've seen Mr. Consistent go through as well. So I don't doubt it's gonna happen, or it can happen. The question is when. But before that, let's throw it over to an M7 Spotlight video with Kyrie.
Yeah, do the
and practice, and hopefully we can play the same in the tournament. Don't forget to support us and watch us guys on this upcoming playoffs, and hopefully we can qualify for M7 and see you there.
Where can you qualify again?
Oh, thank you, Kyrie.
Into it, I'm final jungle.
I think some people are fainting after seeing Kyrie there. But they're close to.
I heard so
many
I can't even recall the last time I heard him speak in Filipino.
We miss you, Kyrie. We miss you, brother. And here's a golden Sammy we're talking about here. They're looking for that back-to-back championship. Season 15, Season 16, can it happen? They already won MSC. They already won Season 15. If they win Season 16, M7 is the only one missing.
Oh my goodness. It was something that we once thought just because of how competitive every single season develops into, and like even when you step foot into Worlds, there are just other regions constantly stepping up too.
Exactly, not just the season, not just Philippines, but all over the world. In Indonesia right now, Onyx feels unstoppable. Onyx feels very strong.
Muntun ni matano pi naman kuy pina di
Also, I think they're undefeated so far in the season. So what is up? Everyone in the chat knows this, especially our international viewers. If they're the ones who loves watching the other regions as well. Everyone's going crazy right now, and the Golden Road feels impossible. But TLPH is starting to do it.
Yeah, we have Liquid. So there's two things that Liquid might actually accomplish if they do secure the championship for the season. For now, it's being the third team to get a back-to-back, and it's being one step closer to finally achieving the Golden Road.
But speaking of close, Bree, can anyone be more close than these two? Edward and OHEB. It's really spine-tingling seeing them together in so many pictures, especially in these ones in the background when they're so young. Look at these baby faces right there.
Their face masks.
Their
hairstyles.
Their hairstyles evolving throughout the years.
Look at their headbands. Look at their jerseys. We've seen all versions of it where they were in a single team. So if you were to throw back to, I think, a lot of people's favorite era, the Age of the Crown.
Yeah.
So I think it's a very iconic duo that you're seeing too, in both Edward and OHEB. So sometimes when you think about it, it's a bit too unreal. It's been so long since we last saw them play together.
And it's now even more unreal to see them beating each other up on the stage. Not literally, but in the game. You know what I mean, guys? Come on.
Yeah, of course.
It's just so poetic at the same time. It really just hits at your heart. But for that matchup we are looking for the longest time, even Kite Carl Teasy. The stats are really skewing towards the face of MLBB, at least in this specific one.
Yeah. I think also, up there, you could put Zyda.
Oh, definitely. I agree, Bree.
If not, I think he has first for some of these, or no, I think it's majority in Carl's hands too. Like Carl, maybe you could say because he's played a lot more games. I think that's almost double the games that you and Kite played in the playoffs. But also, it's something. It's one thing to be this consistent in all of these games.
And across all of these stats as well, like DPM, average kills, GPM, you're getting ahead of most of the junglers. It's scary to think that Carl TC is doing this as well, with mostly utility. Mostly utility. So it's insane. At the same time, it's also kind of maybe painting a picture of what our metagame in jungle looks like.
It's great though that both of these junglers we're seeing in our screen or in front of our screens are junglers who can work with either of the two jungle types that exist now or that you most probably have to familiarize yourself with, so you could really play the current meta game, because you can't be restricted. Like now that we're in this patch, you can't stick with just like all throughout or you can't be all assassin. You can't be like that. And so it really favors teams who have learned how to adjust and explore a bit more. We were so used to only sticking to one, and now it's so nice to see that we are open to both.
That's right. And at the same time, we've also seen teams who have failed to adapt to what the meta is in the jungle. They've already faltered. They've already fallen here in the FL Philippines Season 16 playoffs. So either way, I still want to see that Fredrin contested. I think you guys want I know you guys want to see the Carl TC Lancelot. We're all in this together. Trust me, Chad, we know.
Yeah, so, now that I think about it,
so, and the high boost as well. Right?
Liquid's successful in first picking the Fredrin over the Harith. And isn't that like Doming's first or maybe even second loss
Probably.
on the Harriet this season.
It's insane. It's one of his best heroes. It's one of Domenkite's best heroes, and it suffered that fate. It is scary to think what kind of strategizing that Team Liquid is doing right now behind the scenes to make sure that their best picks, that the best picks here for Aurora are basically getting nerfed.
Okay, there probably is a lot going in the minds of MTB, Dexar, and the full Aurora.
Yeah.
Because we're heading into the draft very, very soon. I know you could see them right behind us.
They're getting ready.
And that's the first step if they want to even things out or catch up to Liquid standing currently in this finals, because they're just 2 more wins away. Can you believe that? I do not want to see this.
Please no. I do not. We booked our hotels for the long haul. We went to our Go hotels. We said, you know what? I feel like we're gonna be in for until later tonight.
Yeah.
So we're not gonna book. We're not gonna check out quite yet.
I had a hard time going to sleep last night.
So please. You're getting like overthinking. Like,
yeah, because I'm just so
be.
excited about all of this. I'm expecting we'll go all the way, but everything was really comfortable, by the way.
Oh yeah.
But I've prepared myself mentally for a very long series.
That's right. You even bought like what do you call that? Where is it? Bring it out.
I brought a
Where is your blanket?
It's a
Bring it out. Actually prepared the blanket.
It's not. I didn't buy it, but
someone gave it. So thank you.
I would like to thank whoever gave me
That's right.
this.
Look at this. Look at this. I just want to say it's. Aside from their 1v1 playoffs history, by the way, where Demonkite is all obviously a bit behind. Look at that. Look at this blanket.
Look at this. Oh my goodness.
The Demonkite has been able to catch up in their matchup in
season 14, but it's just in season 14.
That was a long time ago.
Yeah, Demonkite's always like losing. I was trying to look for a different term, but there's no other way around it. There's no other way around it. This is like the stats show us. Carl TZ always gets the upper hand against Demonkite, and it's always like a 1-3 or a 0 to make things worse.
Yeah, so it's been a bit of a stomp for the most part for the Carl TZ. He's the face of MLBB for a reason, and I think that reason is very optimal, or very apparent here in Game 1 and Game 2 as well.
If only you could put regular season records here too, but you can't.
Can't we?
These are just playoffs. These are just playoffs records.
Yeah, these are playoffs.
So that's why they're all favoring Carl. And how devastating is that going to be for Demonkite if they meet the same fate?
Again?
Again!
Then maybe they need a duel or a rematch.
Someone bought the Aurora thingy.
Aurora thingy, the robe.
Oh yeah, the robe.
The robe. In the mountains.
In the mountains.
The robe in the mountains. The Zen.
I'm
not gonna say that on broadcast. Come on, look at the
Yeah, it's so nice. Oh my goodness, we're so close to seeing the next draft and the Rora back.
Okay, they're on blue side. 76% win rate on that side for Rora here. Or I think overall. And yeah. So get your blankets ready, I hope, which Brigitte is doing right now off cam. She is very obsessed with this blanket.
I am obsessed with this minion blanket.
It's nice, it's a minion. So.
Okay.
So we are going at this one. It looks like a very tense moment, at least for Aurora. Look at the body language here for Team Liquid. They seem. I saw Carl TZ on there a little bit.
What?
Not gonna lie. Don't. Not gonna lie. I hope the fire is still there. Get into the countdown here for the drafting phase of game number 3 between Team Liquid Philippines and Aurora Gaming. So we're looking for the first bans later on, but first let's look at the map draw. It will be crucial. It will also kind of dictate. Sometimes it dictates the speed on which we will make ganks happen.
Again.
The rotations around expanding rivers, but it will be dangerous grass for game number 3.
Oh yeah, it's different. We've had 3 different maps so far.
Ooh, the randomizer is doing its thing.
Randomizing today.
It's randomizing today. Good job, randomizer.
Okay. Why am I getting a feeling that they're not taking out the Harris anymore? not unless Aurora wants to do that.
Yeah, I think so.
Oh,
I
hello,
think we
guys.
can definitely safe to say that either teams can actually pull off the Harith at this point. So leaving it open doesn't feel as bad compared to like some regular season or even some earlier playoffs games.
Yeah. Okay, Hilda gets respected though.
Hilda does get a lot of respect as well.
Yeah.
So
and JP, yeah,
good job, JP.
Yes.
Yeah, good job, Daddy JP.
So maybe Aurora might be a bit more open to an assassin jungler.
Yeah.
But it depends if they
Why
get
is
the
hanging
red
it?
win
Pasal
first
mo
pick
mapay
again. It's been the trend for the past 2 games. Always been the Fredrin prioritized in blue. But Liquid,
Why is this right now?
they seem to have found a way around it, so they change things up.
All right, that's a little different here.
This is the first time Esushin's been
Two
open
ways
for the
lay.
series.
Wow,
Makakaluhin
okay.
na
So
si
this might be
Tuway
something
lay
different
to
for
kay
Rora.
Battle.
This might speed up their mid-game tempo with this pick. Now then again, we're looking for its matchup, its win rate against the Fredrin. I would say can be pretty close.
Yeah, so considering still a Fredrin because there are other junglers option, I think that's why they delayed for Red 3 first. The God of Harith, as expected, will be the response. It's impossible for you not to get the Harith when you're in red side and it's still available at this point. So Granger, I think this is gonna be very consistent for Doming's hero in the first phase. Especially now that it's been a Harith Granger matchup always. So this is gonna be the difference.
I think this core lineup here for Aurora is already fine, especially with a high loss in I think Alice would be a very good pick for Rora, just to make sure that this Wise Assassin Granger can kind of maneuver around it. You can also kind of just solidify someone with, because it's physical damage, jungle with physical damage, gold laner. So I think you want to go magic on your. If you don't want to go bombing, maybe you want to go Alice. But Hayabusa on Carl TZ, we talked about this earlier.
Yeah.
This is a good switch up, and they're not getting stuck in a pattern.
Yeah.
Which is good.
Really good. From a Baksha to a Fredrin to a Hayabusa.
He's doing everything.
He's been doing everything. He's been getting majority of those really good meta picks that are not usually all open.
I am not the only
so it's really surprising that it gets open.
It's excellent, actually.
Yeah. So the Farsa's still available too. I think it's gonna suit the Liquid lineup a lot.
Yeah, it can also work for Rora this time around. So maybe they might consider picking that up.
So, if Liquid wants, they could just ban the Eve and then get the Farsa, so there won't be any matchup. But Aurora take it out themselves.
Okay. All right. So obviously it's gonna be a lot of mages probably on the docket here. I think Valentina is one of the picks that has not been mentioned a lot, but could probably make it to TLPH depending on how they want to use it. I don't like it just for the glorious pathway, but I'm thinking ahead for Rora's mage pick here.
Yeah, I think it's also a lot more frequently coming out when there's a Grok on the other side, or when there's that really good big ticket ult that you want for yourself. But currently, it's the glorious pathway. And I think that's also really helpful if you're Liquid. But they take the Novaria out again.
Okay. So the mid matchup obviously is going to be... we might start seeing a bit of a different mid lane matchup here.
What was Sanji on during game 1?
Wasn't that the Eve?
But now it's gone.
Yeah, it's gone now. So it might, maybe another mid-control mage. Selena is not out of the question here, I think.
That's what I was thinking, because it's always the matchup whenever the Novaria comes out, counters the Selena, but not to counter. It's just to match the Selena. But Lunox gets taken out as well. It feels so... It feels like it was just yesterday, but okay.
Oh my god, what happened to Lunox? Lunox, come on.
What happened to Lunox Kimmy? Like they were...
Lunox Kimmy,
they're not being...
Not even getting banned.
Yeah.
Oh, sorry, Lunox got banned.
So, Farsa or Kimmy might be coming in later for both Sanji and Yue.
Rora needs big magic damage here. They need big magic damage, lest they be armored out by TLPH.
I don't think the Kimmy's a bad idea.
It is true. It is a really good... If you're looking for big magic damage, that's it. But at the same time, it might be...
There's a Haya Lapu, yeah.
And the gold is going to be eaten up by the YSS and the Granger. So you will lose out on some gold.
But you can't go Sicilian here.
Yes, I do not want a Sicilian here. There's the Alice. I knew it was coming. But who's the mage? Selena. All right.
Okay. So what's left for Sanji is like... the Farsa.
Farsa.
Yeah. We did say the Farsa Selena are like the options left for both.
Maybe a Lilia.
Alright,
so despite what our fears earlier, I think we kind of predicted that draft pretty well.
Yeah.
So good job up here. There you go.
The options were out there.
The options were out there. That's good. So we're not so far out of the meta yet.
Not yet. Especially in this game.
That's
right.
We're not seeing any Barretts or anything. And we're back to the Yisun Shins Hayabusas.
Nothing too crazy.
Nothing too crazy.
I like it.
I think the way the momentum's going though, this is a very comfortable lineup that Liquid has secured for themselves. Aurora can play this just as aggressively, but after some time.
Yeah, let's see if Aurora can buy some time here in game number 3. Don't forget, it's already 2-0 for the Stampede and Cavalry. Throw it over to our casters to bring us the game.
Right now, this is about the most looking Season 16 draft we've seen on both sides. We're back to those YSS Hayabusa matchup. We've got marquee picks on both sides, but is this going to be enough for Rora to finally get a point in the series? It's a best of 7 right now, facing 0-2 against Team Liquid Philippines.
Yeah, so when I first saw the 3 picks, blue side of Rora, I liked it. You cannot go wrong with those first 3 picks, no matter what you slot in for blue 4 and blue 5. Then you see the Selena. I am partial to the thought that this is very coin flippy if you're playing around a Selena like this, especially when you see the Gatakacha and the Farsa on the other side, the fact that you're playing up against a Lapu Lapu, but then it was paired up with an Alice. So Rora are playing a lot of dive, playing around that Granger and the YSS, but then you're up against a Hayabusa on the other side that now very coin flippy to see which team's actually going to take this.
What I'm looking for is Rora's box control. Wolf has been speaking ad nauseum about boxes, and in game 1 and 2, that's been one of their major problems. Given we haven't really talked about it during the game, I'm pretty sure it was alluded to by our esteemed panel, Rockhart and Brigida, but that's what I'm looking for. They have a high loss that should help, and I think that's key to them recovering. Again, fixing that tool problem.
The only box I feel like really that we talked about was when the E was picked up, and now a couple times, you know, it's either been picked up or it's been banned at this point. But, you know, when you look at Rora, chance to set up a box is kind of weird the way it's anytime we see the Alice drafted in, we know that that's a big component to kind of zoning out the opposing team, and that's going to happen to TLPH. Oh, wow. Oheb and Dominkai finally going through this. Sanford will have to burn the flicker. So he doesn't have that, but Carl TZ joins too. Turtles up though, so they're going to go and start this up. JP holding down the front. He gets
JP bị đá nào. Ý đẹp rằng mà tôi không.
Oh, Edward, he goes down. Shadow kill going to be used. Carl picks up one.
It's all Liquid, man.
Wow, I feel bad for Demonkai. That's like 3 games now where JP's just been man-marking him. JP fell, yes, and that was a great entry with the Gleam and the Throne of Ruin by Edward. But in the end, Liquid held on. JP got back in time to pop up the Revitalize and help Liquid stay strong up against the entry of the Alice.
Forcing a flicker from you. Ooh.
the reason why he keeps picking this up.
Yeah.
And okay, Dominic has to burn the flicker too. A whole lot of resources being used up on some of these small little fights happening across the map.
2 ults for a flicker. 2 minutes versus what, 30 to 40 seconds.
Alongside JP, Sanji's been on point this whole series as well. The items, slight no clear obviously, maybe between the 2 junglers, getting a little bit bigger now, but we still are in the earlier portions of the game. If JP and Sanji can link up again one more time to set things up for Carl TZ, Turtle 2 should be good for them, while Rora, now I like the rotation. Going for the double, sending him to the mid lane. They have 3 bodies on him to help him out, get a little bit more farm, and now I like this by Rora that they really have to start speeding up the farm for their Granger.
Yeah, I talk a lot too about Demon Kite and how impressive he's been throughout Season 16 in general, but I feel like he's going to have to be the one to step up too, and then a lot of these objectives in the early game and then even later on in the Lords.
Oh my god.
He has to get the retributions off. He has to be able to get the securing. But again, that's easier said than done, especially when you're zoned out by TLPH, who has solidified that strategy of fighting around that box, fighting around that zone. And who are they going to go for? Sanford, who's confident up to 1v2?
Answers back after receiving a face full of Mount Chakra to the face. No ult for Demon Kite, so Liquid have all the incentive in the world to just sandbag into this turtle. That's 2 for 2 now for the Cavalry.
Yep, there's a jump. They go.
There's a Sound Force taking down Demon Kite. He thought he was safe for the orange, but it was just but a bait for his pathway by light to get on out of there. And Liquid successfully invaded. 40 gets it. Again with a flicker. Bravest fighter, Carl freaking Tazy.
This is the stampede that we've seen time and time again from Team Liquid.
Liquid, no, Liquid feel it. We've seen the intensity that they've shown. Every winning moment that they have, because I think they just know that they are way over in Rora's heads. Rora, they don't look like Rora.
They're not playing their game. Not even the same game they played 2 days ago. This is a different team. Liquid have put the fear of God into them.
Yeah. What happened? Like, how did they, like, again, is it just the gauntlet, the endurance test that Team Liquid Philippines has played from the play-ins, from day 2, 3, 4, all the way to now?
They have the hotter hand. It seems like it's a learning experience. Team Liquid for this playoffs, the revenge tour, winning against teams that they couldn't get a win over in series. Season 16. And this would win Demon Kite not again.
AOG Demon Kite will not Centaur anybody? 2 free kills for Cavalry.
They've outwardly said they don't want to think about winning M7. They don't want to think about that just yet because there seems to be a curse. But it looks like they are hell-bent and holding on to that. Everything perfect. JP helping serve up that kill to Sanji. The prediction of Sanji to put down the feathered airstrike to the path of where Demon Kite was going up instead of trying to go for Demon Kite correctly. And the timing of Carl TZ to conserve the shadow out at the very last second.
About it. Third turtle's up. Sanford's gonna jump in. He's zoning the mountain. Gets the turtle.
3 first through. Feathered airstrike is already
Shadow
kill go into the back. Light fall. No front line for Rora.
No one goes down except for Light. Could have been way worse for Rora. But now that's 3 for 3 for the objectives for Carl TZ.
The MVP of the season, the homecoming boy. Demon Kite.
Taking a flicker out too. Demon Kite trying to get some space. Again, fighting between the turrets here.
Yeah, and that's what I was saying. When you decide to pick up the Selena as the last pick, yes, again, one of the counters to fast, aggressive rotations to get a read in. But then it's still dependent on landing that Abyssal Arrow that becomes a big coin flip of whether or not you can actually win fights. But the coin hasn't been landing in favor of Rora. The Abyssal Arrows have not been impactful enough. Carl?
Oh my god.
Forced out the flick.
Magic damage. Physical damage.
Yep.
what do you do as Aurora, especially since your economy has already been under attack? One might argue that these traps and these arrows could be for zoning. But what is the follow-through? Like, by throwing out a trap, by leaving one in the random bush, does that open up the arm for Demon Kite? Does that allow Dominkai to do his thing? They force out a wings by wings from Sanji. A glorious pathway from Light, but they're really buying time, Carl. Shadow kill plus an AOG. In comes JP, forcing a revitalize from Light. Rora's jungle is in shambles right now.
Oh, they jump in under the turret too. Carl teases around the orange. He's gonna go. Demon Kite could be in trouble.
Match point is within fingers reach.
It's falling apart for Rora from the beginning and all the way up to now.
Liquid are relentless, and Rora are helpless. They can't find anything. There's always something Liquid's throwing at them.
Throw an arrow.
That looks so desperate, bro.
And JP just accepts it with a smile on his face.
Again, if you're Rora here, you're sitting here thinking, how do we even get a win in our favor when everyone on the team can't even get close enough? They've always been just reacting to what Team Liquid Philippines has been thrown at them. That's the difficult part, and that's been the story from game 1 to now game 3.
I have to take the moment to show my appreciation for Coach RC and Coach Tic Tac, what they have done to Liquid. I wonder if one day we could be privy to the preparation, that the strategies that they had heading into this, because this is just perfect.
Sanford's going to jump in. He wants to go for Edward. He will get the flicker out. An AOG.
Just working on the Lord. This is free for Liquid.
Everything is free for Liquid again. Just able to capitalize on this, make it all work, get to the point, and now they're just in the base here. Better airstrike.
All of it. Oheb pops him. Zabapur still standing. Dashing down.
Oh, they don't have any minions here. They could be trapped in. They have to get out. Oheb's going to force them.
Messy and greedy there for Oheb, but Liquid, they are still in the lead. But they cannot afford a lot of that. They still have a Lord crashing in though. Edward's Throne of Ruin earlier, only for, wait, Abyssal Arrow lands?
Feather there, strike the answer by Sanji, allowing the Lord to get a few more free hits in. Rora gonna stop Liquid from coming in.
Ooh, it's like you said, Runma earlier, back in game 1 and even in game 2. If CLPH has the lead, they like to play a little risky towards the base to at least continue to put the limit on Rora, and that's what they've been doing. So they get some of the Holy Shields down to work with. They still maintain a big, healthy lead, 7,000 up. And the items are all coming into place.
Yeah, almost 2,000 gold lead there for Carl T. That's the saving grace right now for Rora. The fact that Dominkai has been getting farmed. He hasn't died yet. Already up to a Malefic Roar. He has his core 3 items. But the problem is every other member of Rora is who's struggling. You barely has items in. And even though you don't need that much items, you just land that Abyssal Arrow. It would be great to have a little bit more follow-up, which Rora does not have enough of at this point.
You know what else Rora doesn't have enough of? Time. They need so much farm on Demon Kite. Sure, that is what? Just a couple of thousand, but Dominkai isn't even firing off on all cylinders.
There's this, I don't know what it is, man, but over the course of history, when we talk about the rivalries, Demon Kite and Carl Teasy, it just seems like Demon Kite face that demon, man. I think it's his own inner demon that he faces when it's Carl Teasy across from him.
The demon's demon. That is who Carl Teasy is to Demon Kite. An echo of the past for Light as well. They said it, they just can't seem to take down these members. They took them down, but now they meet them again. Look at JP!
Again, this is what JP has been doing all series long. You have to give it up to him on being able to go ahead and lead that charge. Oheb dropping down his
Kite's health.
Just with one shot, man.
Just
again.
one shot.
Gonna take his purple. He does get it. Wow. Kite secures that, but is this what you want to do? Because again, the Lord is coming up here now. You don't have that much space to work with. Real quick, this is the Infinix GT30 Pro. You can experience victory for every Modlon gamer right now. We're going to look at JP. As I was saying, this man has been doing work.
Yeah.
He's a dad here.
Oh, we really have to start floating the idea that that man is going to be the finals MVP by the end of today if Liquid can seal it. Free Lord. Again, Rora still cannot find an answer. They cannot crack the Team Liquid code.
At this point,
I'm
don't know,
scrambling in my head. At this point, it's miracles again. It's an abyssal arrow layering somehow. Oheb getting punished, but then if Oheb goes down, you still have to think about the Hayabusa's entry with the shadow kill. You still have to think about the damage you're going to be receiving from feathered airstrikes. And at this point, the fact that there's already an oracle, even just the belt, even though that's not a full build item just yet on the Queen's Wings for Sanford, that's okay because he can still fight long engagements. It goes back to what you said.
Wings by wings.
Point defensive hay do we
Pop in that feathered airstrike. That's not on the Carl TZ. In they go, forcing a shadow out. Carl has one more shadow. He's very low. Edward taking a few hits. Glorious pathway and a stun on the JP. Successful defense in the top lane. Bottom lane up next.
So far, a lot kind of thrown out there. They still got to deal with this Lord as it charges into the bottom base turret. There's an AOG.
Traceless out by Demon. Shadow kill. Carl taking out Edward. Feathered airstrike.
Trouble as he falls too.
The cavalry stampede through.
Everyone is perfect. Oheb is fired up. He knows they just need one.
Championship point. One more win. Perfect for Team Liquid Philippines. Rora's gonna have to go back to the drawing board and figure something out. Let's throw it over the panel to break down our game 3.
Man, I have not. Again, we've seen them all throughout the season. I've not seen Team Liquid fired up, and in that early game, really dominated and dominoed Aurora.
I've never seen that too.
Oh shit. Holy shito. Holy shito. Caramba. Use it, quick,
You want to be safe. You do want to feel the hero.
The interesting thing about Hilda really is that they still go Hilda.
Hello guys, I'm back.
We're going Lobo.
Okay, what does Edward pick in this scenario? Edward has to have a very reliable XP laner.
We might have to go Alice or...
The Alice is there, but...
Or Tarizla here.
Last match thì ở bên Singapore đấy. Đúng đấy này.
Tarizla, yeah.
Đúng rồi, cái cái vãi rồi này.
I mean, this is so... It's like plugging a hole in a sinking ship.
I'm trying
Last match thì khán giả này yên bật đi.
I'm trying to digest everything that's happening. Because aside from the fact that this was probably the fastest draft we've ever had for the whole series, this is looking so much like Liquid's comfort.
It is. It's maximum comfort. We have not brought out the Lo Yi in a long time as well, Brigada.
And I'm not
Sanji Louis vẫn tàu này có gì nhỉ?
The synergies of the Gatot Akai Tarizla.
Same here. So I don't know what Rora's thinking, but I hope that we can be surprised, or else this is going to be the last series for the day, or last game for the day. Right over there, casters. Let's go.
Championship points right now for Team Liquid Philippines, unless Rora, with this interesting draft, to say the least, can do something about it in this game 4. Renmar, looking at the draft with your analyst hat on, man. What's going on here? This looks a little confusing.
Throwback to MSC 2025. It was the Fredrin Akai matchup that gave SRG the only win that they got against Team Liquid Philippines in the grand finals then. Let's see if it is actually a panda-sized hole that is the problem of Rora, and it's enough with an Akai to plug it. They have their Harris, they have their Sicilian, back to comforts. Edward needs to be on point with his entries alongside Light on the Gatot Gacha.
There's a big problem about that, Renmar. This is not MSC 2025. We are thousands of miles away from Riyadh, almost 6 months removed from a said event. And even if, guess who won that damn big tournament?
Well, we all know who that was. And it's crazy to think that, again, for how many times have we seen the gold lane change in the season, and especially here in the playoffs, and all we've seen today is Granger and Harith.
Yeah. I mean, when it comes to these two gold laners, those
are
most synonymous with their MPL Philippines season 16 versions. Crowd control that both lineups have. Lo Yi has had a terrible MPL Philippines season 16. That is the one thing that Rora is banking on. One of the few things that they can bank on here, that Liquid need to change their narrative around that hero. Let's see once we are in the turtle fights, if the heavy spin is enough to mess up with Carl Teasy's retreat game.
Oh, JP pressing code all of his previous wins that he had into this best of 7, just on Light's face. U2 getting managed. Turtle down to a fifth of its health. Heavy spin by Demon Knight, pinning down 40. Sanji takes down the smiling demon as Carl takes Sanford Falls.
For one, Turtle.
Not the start you want to have. Could have been significantly cleaner. Rora, we're gonna regret fighting that first turtle like that. But Rora still in this. Domikai's been controlling Oheb in lane. Sanji's appearance here is one of the few times that Domikai's been able to show up. But now with Oheb, with a level gap, able to balance things out towards his favor.
And this is the thing here too, JP, someone's got to control JP from Rora, man. He's been having a hell of a time, probably one of his best series so far in his career against Rora, game to game to game to game, and it's just, it's causing too much havoc on Demon Kite even to even have this kind of jungler that we're used to seeing for Demon Kite.
Yeah, it was Sanford who was able to get this. Oh, AOG, oh, Light misses.
That's it. Oheb flickers out, Sanji 2. Close call, but Liquid will do anything to be able to keep this 1,000 gold lead.
I'm seeing a lot of desperation from Rora from the first 3 minutes and 30 seconds. Look, JP and Sanford, they're not letting this guy farm comfortably at all.
JP,
This has been the toughest series Demon Kite has ever played all season long.
That's what I said. I think maybe what they found out,
Demon Kite,
one of the weak points here for Rora to deal with that dominant gameplay we've seen all season from them is to put unbelievable pressure on Demon Kite. Again, throughout the series, he has not been able to position himself to even contest the objectives the way that he wants, or that the way we're used to seeing Demon Kite.
God, Light got JP on him and called easy. He goes down. Light takes a nap.
Massive disconnect. I'm surprised that it was that bush
JP
that Light was holding, but that one just held no one out the mid. Or in his
JP
perspective,
pas
it's upper mid.
Brave Spider by 40, delaying
JP yun, tsaka may malas mo rin.
I think he wanted to respond somewhere. Oh no, it's Sansan right on Edward. They send themselves down bottom, rotating towards the turtle. Big fight already. Zaman Force dropped by Dominkite. Liquid pushes them out of that favorable position. Liquid takes 2 for 2.
A good use of the diversion to come help secure that second turtle. But now look at this. They're going to put pressure on
Carl TZ is a menace.
He did not commit the turtle. He slowly uses the basic attacks to take it down. Walked up, retribution away. And now the clock is starting to strike midnight, getting closer and closer to the story of Rora ending with heartbreak.
Edward gets hit. Razor's Wrath survives with about 10 HP, forcing Light to revitalize.
Hold
on, Dominkite should be okay, but and JP
How
again
is extreme
being
motor
place. Rora's in the position where they have to support Demon Kite or at least find a win somewhere else.
Joseph, do you hear how ridiculous that sounds?
It does.
Support the Akai?
He needs help.
He needs so much more help. Aurora hasn't changed their game plan all series long. Instead of focusing on making sure that Demon Kite is comfortable, Demon Kite can get farmed, that the center of the map is good. They've been changing their focuses, putting a lot more focus on the Dominkite, not putting enough focus on the Edward as well, and Demon Kite is suffering.
I mean, look at this. They're centered around Demon Kite right now, too, as he falls further behind. Carl TZ, diversion trip to the mid lane. Again, what can Rora do from this point? Who do they go for? Who do they bank on? Is it just Dominkite on the Hereth?
Light intercepting on Carl. Sanford. Bravest fighter already. Keeping back the Apex Predator. Oh no, Demon Kite's not gonna taste his purple once more.
They're moving way too fast. Purple still goes to Carl TZ. Every angle, every entry point blocked off. Every member man-to-man zoned.
Oh, under the turret, in between it they go. Light's gonna be in trouble again. He's so low.
Carl TZ with the Razor's Wrath. 7-4 dropped by Dominkite. The flicker from Sanji. Backing out. Push in mid. Tier 1 down.
We don't have that 6-7K goalie we usually have.
You know what else is funny? The fact that JP stood there and showed him, yeah, I'm gonna let you go.
Yeah.
That must be some mental damage dealt to Dominkite's game.
From the walkouts to what they're doing during the game, from walking out from the playing area to back to their huddle areas, it seems like that's been the story. Liquid have just been living rent-free in Rora's heads. Rora have not played their game all series long. Rora have looked uncomfortable all series long. And now Liquid, it's their series to lose, their game to lose. And for the Sicilian, but still, the lead is too far.
This makes sense because a lot of us forgot throughout season 16, this is their house. This is where Stallions live and run free. They are the defending champions and they are bullying Aurora since game 1. Heavy spin, they isolate the goat. That's a kill for Aurora.
There we go, that's something Rora needed.
Right with an AOG.
And
Sanji, they laid on a smackdown on the left. Bravest fighter under that Gatoka Cha. Hey, take it down, serving up a kill.
All part of the plan, I guess, for TLPH. Maybe Carl TZ wasn't supposed to be heavy spun into a turret, but TL still gets something and it's still on the purple.
They don't even have the retribution, they just have the man advantage. And they still get it, and it's on the Granger of all people.
Kiel1 is a different beast. The day he woke up, and he chose to be greater than ever. He chose to show the world, hey, I am the M3 MVP. I am a 3-time champion. Now he's looking to be a 4-time champion.
This has to be heartbreaking for the Roras. It was Rora that had the most clear, coded intention of the season. Champions. That's it. No looking towards M7. Just get the championship. Finally win that chip for the org. They missed out on it in 14. Didn't even make it to the grand finals in 15. But now they are on the brink of just getting trampled by the hooves of Liquid.
Juxtaposed to Liquid, who clearly said in their post-match interview last night, we're looking at M7. What is this? Another day in the office?
I think it is just another day here for Team Liquid, as it's another objective that's going to be going in the hands of Carl TZ. Rora isn't even close to this. They're huddled around the tier 2 turret, trying to think of a plan on how to get this game under control.
Joseph, is this a
Chị cặp thì cũng mai thì game 100 cái gì?
They're stuck, man. I don't know.
Tập tới lùi tới bị chăn lệ, lùi đây cái gì?
Rora, I think even for themselves,
Vừa phép ăn tàu đấy gì
the Stampede for some reason has just completely whiplashed them throughout this series, 4 games in a row.
And leading the charge is JP. Oh, diversion.
Oh,
Đấy.
Akai
không có áp lực chịu một chi nữa.
This is not a series at all. Can't even touch his buffs. They have to watch the tier 2 turret fall. That Lord made its way down the bottom. Rora needs so much more time to make this composition shine. And it's just not happening here.
In a season where the defending world champions, Onyx Philippines, admitted they've forgotten who they are, Liquid are reminding the world who the hell they are right now. Closer and closer to immortality yet again.
Gets defended down bottom. In comes Edward. Light with the intercept to the back. Gets another one. Edward barely alive. Carl TZ goes down. Massive trade. Big win for Aurora. 2 for 1. Saki gonna bite it too. Make it 3.
A big trade for Rora. They lost the base turret, but Team Liquid has done this time and time again. That first Lord 5K ahead, they go into the base anyway.
Now that was Rora's fault. That was Edward and Light with the link up, the flank, the gank, the set, and Demon Kite getting the heavy spin to make sure that they could even get a kill onto Sanji. Now we've got ourselves a game. This is now within Light's reach.
Let's take a look at the replay, exactly what happened. Again, Edward jumps in, Light comes from the back. They do get overloaded with damage, but they force all this under the turret. So even when Carl goes down, Edward gets away with a sliver of health.
Joseph, that is the magic keywords. Under the turret.
Under the turret. It's happened many times.
So that means elsewhere on the map. Rora's a Liquid were willing to overcommit.
You asked if this is a turquoise coded movement. One of the greatest strengths of back in the heyday was making comebacks through moments like these. Being able to come back just when you thought they'd lose one sequence to turn it around. There is still a significant lead to with the shield dominance. Ice didn't full build into the anti-Karas, but OHEB still has a significant lead over Dominic. For them, it's now 12 minutes in, then yeah, they already have the Holy Crystal on the Harith and a Divine Glaive as well for the Sicilian. So this is within comeback reach, and Liquid cannot overheat.
They can't overheat. Rora.
Chỉ lôi chơi Rora lâu rồi thì cá rồi đi không vậy? Chỉ là tất cả đi. Quay lên game mà quay JP dùng đi. Chỉ đến mà tạm đi. Chỉ là chỉ cái rồi này. Quay cái vậy. JP sẽ lâu rồi đi. Cái gì đấy? Anh chụp ra đi sao? JP nó tra cái nó. JP nó tra cái OHEB tao mà.
Demon Kite finds him. Demon Kite falls. 1 for trade.
He's gone. The diversion's going to be used. They get out of there. They have to get out. But Demon Kite got the Lord. They go back.
Summon force by Dominic Kite pushing Oheb out. Now the next target gonna be Sporty. The Apex Predator gets 3.
Oh no, Shiva de kenu kenu i. Kenu sige kenu sige kenu ki. Wait. Bira sa. Oh. Bira sa tu.
Now just you and Light left.
What are they gonna do? They have to deal with the Lord here. Will be able to clear out the minions, so it's going to be just that. Lord buys them time for Rora to stay in the game.
The most exciting the series has been all grand finals long. Liquid do not have the iron grip as they did. Rora finding clapbacks. The heavy spin perfect. Demon Kite getting the retreat. Liquid with the counter punish yet again. They can't afford to do that because of the lead. And who was it that showed up right at the nick of time to turn things around? It was the Hilda running up to Aurora. But Aurora are still in this. And Liquid must not rest on their laurels and their lead.
Warning shots now to the cavalry. Hey, you slipped up once inside the base. Even outside the base, Rora can clap back. I'm looking at Daddy JP's items. He's got to build that ball, man.
He's got to get the ball. Do a little damage. The Blade of Hepsees might be able to help him.
I think that's what he yeah. Dominic died earlier. Maybe the exchange would have been better.
It might have been.
어떻게 어디 꾸이려더니 해. 뒷만 가요, 도면 가요, 판 꾸이려다 하는 건데.
At this point, though, Rora has accomplished
Moi MPL tadi dum mami sala ka tu M series tadi am puya ang guru de man kai do men kai kas.
Kal M series kal digit low da lo de bai. Ha ti kot ne.
A clock of destiny for more time. So now at this point, Rora is in an actual position of contention for the next one. That's really what the focus is going to be here. Unless TLPH, we haven't seen the Lord pop up too high, but now that you have that, you can play at a macro level, and they're still going to put pressure on the purple buff of Demon Kite. But he will go ahead, and it looks like he doesn't get it. He hasn't had majority of his buff. What an Akai can bring to these objectives. If the team is able to capitalize on that and Demon Kite can get that space with a heavy spin, he can secure it. And every lore that's secured from this point is a big win for Rora.
Rora has had immaculate minion wave control all season long. And they have to keep that up. The lack of the turret in the bottom lane, the lack of good health on the turret in the mid lane, and they're up against Liquid Slow Yi, Sanji Slow Yi.
Anh đi lưu ý cái thay là kim cương bát tiên này với sao này dịp được thằng gì à? Không có ai đã.
Oh
man, Demon Kite taking a ton of damage already at half health.
I'm looking at Dominic, he flushes Daddy JP out, and that is a huge threat, maybe even worse than a split push.
Daddy JP ấy
gì mà. Bottom, he wants to go ahead and push that turret in so that UA has to respond.
Yeah. He's just hitting the siege minion. He's
not
allowing the minions to slowly finish the job so he can rejoin.
Half health on this Lord here. Demon Kite, he's gonna have to make a play.
Sanford on him. Oheb comes in close. Raven Spider coming
in. 스파저예?
Still secures the Lord.
너 분노 이제 팔찌 깨는 거 뭐 잘지 와 이거. 지지 맞아. sama rezeki tu di biasa ni kau. Rezeki tu. Sangat tadi. Tadi berari. 5-4 dia. Plus tu juga. Ye tu ngai. Kan chỉ kan dah. Mitik push dia pagi ni. Yo, still. Hadi på dem nu men på det.
Ủa thì chỉ thả đua thả mà bảo.
Đang bất yếu. Kerata dia dah final MVP dia.
Team Liquid are on the golden stampede. Team Liquid are on this.
Shenford đã tạo đấu ngoài rồi.
Shenford chơi JP còn thằng này kìa. Anh ấy show nó mới hay thôi gì. 그래서 MSC더라 그러고 보다 팀 타자긴 해도 네요.
I posed the possibility. I didn't expect it would actually happen. I already said it leading up to that Lord.
I said as well, the Lui Yi is a macro play. And they just brought the cavalry down there. We talked about
이승이가 부드럽게 된 이야기 하나를 이제 애시 가져라.
used it to their advantage to win the championship.
The story continues for Aurora.
यार इसके मुंह करो यार.
Good night guys.
All the hard work that they did in the regular season